Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is February 23rd, 2020. My name is Eric Peters, and joining me today, Mr. Dan Curtis.
Hello, good sir.
Could you try that again with a little more pep?
No.
Oh.
Well, you just sucked the life out of me because during the Unwrapped, you've made us say goodbye.
Well, yeah, we're going to start at the end and work our way backwards.
Right.
Well, let's see what Mr. Tom Reagan's got.
Morning. You're right. I think it was the same thing. You said you got us to say goodbye, and then I just wound down.
Yeah, Dan's already.
I reclined.
Dan is full La Pumpkin.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you're even laying down.
I'm not laying down.
You are too laying down. Don't listen to it.
I am purposely sat upwards. Do not make me point my webcam at my crotch.
Well, why do you think I'm trying to get you to?
Ah, I see. A cunning plan.
Yes, conniving. Got to be
I thought
smart.
you were going to have another little lie down today, Dan.
I don't want to subject the Unwrapped listeners to that. The other ones who subscribe to the video version anyway. Because they may not be prepared.
Subject them or treat them?
It depends on how they feel about it, really. I wouldn't like to assume.
Well,
I'd say it was a treat.
Yeah, it's quite a treat.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree.
I'm awfully fond of it myself.
I like your high self-esteem there.
I was wondering where you're going with that. I like your high self-esteem.
Knob.
I like your knob.
I don't blame you, sir. It's a cracker.
No complaints thus far, eh, Dan?
No.
Not yet. Where's Mike?
Oh, he should be on in a minute.
Okay, we'll just wait for him to pop in.
He's enjoying the 3 games that are on Stadia, I think, or something.
All 3 of them. Wasn't there just a new one announced?
No.
Yeah.
No.
We're gonna have Farming Simulator, Tomb Raider, and Call of Duty Black Ops 1. That's all you get.
And the first Destiny.
They did make a big announcement recently, to be fair, that they're going to have...
Closing it?
No, they're going to get Arkham Asylum on there.
Ooh.
Seriously?
No, but that's the sort of caliber we're working with here.
Guys, call a press release. We got Batman. Which one? Arkham Asylum.
Wow, yeah, the one that's rated real high. Yeah, but it's like 11 years old.
Yeah. Change the industry.
And everyone's played it.
I like to imagine the executives were like, oh, do you mean the new one that Rocksteady's working on? No.
Brace yourself. It's even better.
It is Rocksteady. You're half right.
Stadia, bringing you all the old games to enjoy with really choppy frame rate.
All the games you used to love, but worse.
Oh,
Poor
Stadia.
Poor Stadia. But yeah, Mike will pop in at some point. Other than that, how's everybody else?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
I'm tired.
Alive and well.
We had to go car shopping yesterday, and I hate it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why
do you love buying things?
Oh, yeah, but I hate buying cars because you can never go, like, I'm instant gratification type person. I want to go into a store, hand someone some dollary dues, and walk out with something and make it as short of a transaction as possible. When you go to buy a car, it's minimum 4 hours.
Yeah, because even when you buy it, you have to do all that paperwork.
We went to the dealership knowing exactly what we wanted. We even had the stock number for the vehicle that we wanted. Like, walked up, saw the first salesperson. I want that car. We took it for a test drive and went, I want that
throwing
car.
dollars in the guy's face.
4 hours later, we were still there.
What was the holdup?
Just, they had to come back and then they do their whole little spiel about, well, how much do you want to put down? Where do you want your pay? I want this price. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm going to put down or where I want my payments. I want that price. Oh, well, let me go run some numbers. And then they come back and they give me all these numbers like, what's that based on for APR? Well, we do it as our store at. I have this credit score. Give me this APR. Okay, well, what are you going to put down? I want that price. And he's just stupid back and forth. And then they finally come back and I'm like, I'm putting this much down. They're like, oh, well, let me go back and rejigger all these numbers again. I'm like, just take.
Now, here's the question: what are they really doing when they go to rejigger the numbers? Because they really don't need to go to the back to rejigger some numbers, do they?
No, they go have some coffee. They go shoot the shit because they go into this big glass room and they go talk to their manager.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because he's the only one who can make the decision. And then he comes out and tries to glad hand you into revealing more information. And then they do that little box of like, well, here's the cost of the car and here's your APR and here's your down payment. And here's your whatever. Like, I want that price. Here's my cash. Let me go.
So what you're saying really is you blame Christy for crashing her car for subjecting you to this torture?
No, I blame the asshole who pulled out in front of her.
Ah.
Yeah, it's his fault. But in the end, we did get a cracking deal.
Good. What color did you go for?
She went with Courant Red.
Glorious.
Yeah, it's quite good.
So now that you've got a red and a white car, you just need a blue one.
I know. I know. And I'm trying to convince my grandparents to sell me one of their Jeeps, which is blue. Yeah. Tell you what, that would be something else, wouldn't it? And then I'd get the license plates to be the opposite colors. So it'd be the white car with red, and then the blue car with white. And yeah,
we'll just get some star decals.
Oh, I could do that.
50 stars spread across the 3.
Or they could be stars and bars. And line my cars up all together.
The bars could be in
all
the Jeep.
of them. When you put your foot down on the accelerator, you hear that American Eagle.
Yeah, the horn is just this eagle screech.
Oh, God, could you imagine? That'd be awesome. Did I tell you guys about that? I think I did, but I tell you about the time where my uncle wanted to install a train horn on my car because he had a friend who had an old locomotive train horn. He's like, dude, for $200, I'll hook it up to your car. And I was in high school and poor at the time. I'm like, man, if I had $200, 100% I'd be putting that on there. It had a sounding...
If that had happened last week, that would have happened.
It has a sounding radius of 1 mile. But I feel like
I'd wake up the daft old bin driving in front of you, wouldn't it?
I feel like I probably would have gotten into some sort of trouble because someone would have come across the crosswalk in front of me and I would just lay into it and they'd start bleeding from their ears.
I was going to say, with that, is that still up to code to have
oh God, no.
fog?
No. I'd like to get like a big old tugboat foghorn or something too. That'd be neat.
Imagine if when it went into the garage to get serviced and they were testing the horn.
Where it's big and echoey in there. Yeah. Everybody goes
You
down.
just come back later in the day, there's 8 mechanics on the ground bleeding from their ears.
What about the fact that over here, when you lock your car, it makes the horn noise?
Oh, good.
Yeah, of course. Can you imagine how much Mike would shit himself if that went off?
Oh, it'd be great.
Sorry, neighborhood, just letting you know I'm home now. I know it's late, but
and my driveway
I'm
is
safe.
between 2 houses where everything echoes, so it would amplify it. We go through a lot of windows because I'm sure it would shatter windows.
Fuck yeah, if it was single glazing.
It would have to. But yeah, that's what we got to spend our weekend doing. We were under the gun. We had our kids with a sitter for exactly 4 hours. I can't stand car shopping. But the only thing that's worse is car shopping with kids.
Oh,
yeah.
I can imagine any kind of shopping with kids is pretty.
I don't know. I like shopping with kids because you get to play around with all the toys and nobody looks at you weird. Especially when you go into the Barbie aisle. Now it's totally normal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh, it's just a guy playing with Barbies with his kids. It's neat. But when you go by yourself, it's weird.
Yeah. No, can't do nothing.
Can't do it.
Apart from the 90% of the time when you go to the store without your children.
It's like they've closed one of the roads on the way to the train station, so I have to take a separate way at the moment, and it goes through like a school, like a kid's school, and
the train
directly
goes
through it.
The train goes through the school.
no,
Sorry,
the
road's
road
closed.
Is
Got to
it in
come
my
through.
old street?
What?
Is it in my old street with the road through the house?
No, it's just a detour, and when I go through, Catherine's like, because you have to there's various crossings and stuff, and she's like, look at all the cute kids holding hands, and I was like, Catherine, I can't look at the kids.
I am not allowed to.
I'm not. That's not a thing I can do. Not until I have one of my own.
Until then, it is weird.
Yeah.
It's like Tom and I going to pick up my kids at school one day. Pulled up, we're like, let's go get some kids. Like,
With sunglasses.
That can really only be said if you have kids.
I remember I had a bit of a leg workout getting in and out of your car because my car is quite high up.
My car is quite low.
And yours is very low.
My car is quite low.
I was
Oh, yeah, it is. I remember.
Oh, come on, quads. Do your thing.
Get out of the car and you just prop a hench.
I can tell I'm 30.
Oh, there go the kneecaps again. Oh.
Yeah.
Nah.
Here's now fetch my replacement kneecaps.
No, the third drawdown. Why'd you put it so
Second
low?
draw's got the lubricant and the sex toys. I want the kneecaps.
That is a sex toy.
Not now. Give it a quick buff before you put it in.
He's got like zippers in the front of his knees where he just unzips and pops a new cap in.
Yeah.
Like your dad's toaster knee.
Yeah. Upgradable knees of the future.
Oh, yeah, man, that'd be good. Bionic knees. Bionic joints in general.
I hope
Bert may be 120 years old, but you'd think he was 75.
we live to see robotic implants or enhancements.
What would you get?
Oh,
A new shoulder.
that was quick.
I thought you had
That was
I thought you
quick
had a
decision.
bionic shoulder.
I have a bionic collarbone.
Interesting choice. Well, normally people go with either the arm or the leg. What makes you go with shoulder?
I don't know, because this one's all busted up anyway.
Oh, okay.
I just want a working shoulder, please.
I think a bionic right arm would be pretty handy.
Yeah, I get it. Handy.
Wouldn't you have to bionic-ify your Johnson though as well, because you might rip it off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bionicify?
Bionicify, yeah.
And you give me shit for the words I come up with. At least mine sound like they're real words.
What, like rearrange it?
I just slid that one in there. And God damn it, you caught it.
I would honestly quite like groundations to be a word. I think that one does sound like it should
I wish
be.
it was a word. I might have to see if I can get the dude that reads out all the wedding shit to put that in there somewhere. And he's like, Tom and Catherine laid the groundations for a wonderful marriage.
I do have it on proper authority that that word will be uttered at least once during some part of your wedding.
Just everybody else at the wedding has no idea what it means, and us three are just
thing
pissing
is-
us.
I want to run a test to see if I could, if I use that word with someone who doesn't know the backstory, if they can just ascertain what it may well mean. Because
It legitimately does sound like it should be a word. And you replace, as we discovered with the Eric tattoo incident, you replace foundation with groundation, it just works.
Exactly.
So, like, it doesn't work with other words. So, like, would founding fathers become grounding fathers?
No, because then that changes the term of it, or that changes the meaning. because you're grounding it. You're bringing it down, and you're just
Founding fathers.
Yeah, like the dudes who started this great nation of ours,
Oh yeah.
the founding fathers.
I wonder what they'd make
Can
of
you
it
start
now.
can you start a construction company called Groundations?
It's in the works.
Yes.
We'll
I think that's
rearrange
your calling in
all
life.
that dirt and lay the groundations for a proper building.
This guy really knows what he's talking about. He's saying long words I don't understand.
I'd never heard that before. He must be real smart. That's how it works, right? I could do that. I suck at construction, though. I'm really good at tearing things down and punching holes in walls, but like putting it back up. We'll
You're
see.
not as bad as me with that door last week, man.
Yeah, so let's hear about this. You were installing a French door or a Dutch door?
Yes, I did. It's a lovely French door. Now I can just lean out and shout at people as they go by. It's beautiful.
Hey, Duck, get off my lawn.
Hey, Duck, how dare you move slightly to the left? How dare you?
Shoo!
Get back in your position, son.
Get back on your coordinates.
I'm watching you, Duck. I don't care if the wind's ruffling your feathers. Make sure you keep them in the same position.
How did it go? Doing the door.
Oh, dude. It was terrible.
What were you
Were you
even
actually
doing?
replacing an entire door?
No, so basically what I was trying to do is, Het is exceptionally windy. So I was trying to install like a keyhole cover on the back of the keyhole.
Why?
And
Okay.
somehow in the process of screwing this in, because it blocks the wind from coming through the keyhole.
Oh.
Wait.
No, actually, sorry, I
Wait.
don't understand either. No, I do understand. One of those
Yeah,
little
so
metal
we've got-
things. The little metal, like, disc.
Yeah, so like a disc thing,
Right.
so it covers over the keyhole.
That did not take you all day, Dan.
Like, wait, hold on. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. You're concerned about wind coming through a keyhole.
Hey, can you imagine the fierceness of going through that small hole when it jets through?
Is that- I don't.
Well, you-
wait.
Dude, honestly,
No,
it does.
hold
It
on.
makes
Wait,
the house freezing.
Keyholes don't go straight through.
This one does.
How
Yeah, the
old
old
is
ones
Het?
do.
Yeah, it's an old door on
Like,
the
do
old
you have
house.
a
So we've got
skeleton key to get into your house?
Have you seen the keys in England?
No.
Some of them, like my old key, was like really long, like this.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one we've got. So that is not the front door, though. So we've got a porch and then the front door, but the front door is useless and lets all the wind in. So the wind then comes through the door.
Okay,
So
wait.
we need-
So hold on. I'm sending you a picture here. Is this what you were?
Look,
Hold on. Is this what you were trying to install?
We'll wait.
One of these things?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sort
what
of
he
like
was
that,
trying to
but-
do.
Damn, that is
Rounded.
2 screws. That should have been like 60 seconds tops.
Yeah, right. I know, but it didn't go in the door, and I don't own a drill because I'm terrible at DIY.
What were you trying to
Oh, wow.
install it
would
with?
not-
Hopes
would
and
not screw in
dreams?
the door. So in the process, I somehow managed to break the latch on the door as well. And this is what took the long amount of time. So because the door is so old, whoever's installed it has installed the section on the door where the lock goes into really wonky. And when I'd been trying to adjust the door, it knocked this out of alignment and the door wouldn't shut anymore. And then, so I tried to reinstall it straight, as would be logical. Didn't work. So then resulted in about 2 hours of trying to get it back in the wonky position so the door would shut.
So I'm still wrapping my head around this keyhole thing here.
Did you use a screwdriver then, just basically try and force it through, make a new hole through the door? Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
You know what would have solved this?
The drill.
A piece of tape.
Oh, you just mean
Yeah, but
tape
then you've
over
got
the
to take the
keyhole.
tape off every time you go out. And that's just a faff.
You have to unlock the door to go out? Like you have to use a key to get out of your house?
Well, yeah.
What kind of backwards country is this?
Wait, you don't lock your door when you go in.
Yeah, but not with the key. I turn around and turn the lock on the back of it.
Old school, Eric. Old school.
So wait a minute. What if?
Loads of houses in England.
Let me
lock the door from inside.
Let me pose a situation here. You are fast asleep in the middle of the night, and suddenly you hear breathing in the corner of the room coming from the closet, just to discover that there is a murderer in your house. And he starts chasing you. And you, not being the typical horror movie trope, decide to go downstairs and out the door instead of further into your house. But you forgot your keys. You are dead. Whereas every house in America, you walk up to the door and you unlock it with a little knob on the back of it, and boom, you're out and you're alive.
Well, yeah, the population control in England, that's what they do.
Usually, you sometimes just keep the key in there.
Oh, that seems safe.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So then, anyway, after I managed to finally fix the door, I just thought I'd just cut it in half and turn it into one of those nice Dutch-French door things that you're on about, so I could shout at the duck.
And that's why Dan was too tired to be on the show yesterday. Or last week.
I was too angry to be on the show.
Drama.
Yesterday, was it?
It was yesterday.
You're getting confused with the days again.
Yeah, days, week, same thing.
Damn it.
I'm still trying to understand it's too windy in this house. Where's it coming from? An open window? No, the keyhole.
Honestly, I do remember in those old houses when there's a fierce wind outside, it does go all through the keyhole.
Yeah.
Could they have like little, you know, it would be really cool to get like little inserts that have different whistles and pitches in it. You know, like those old Nerf footballs that had whistles.
Of Time tunes.
Yeah. It gets really windy.
I'm surprised it was that tough to get a cover over it though. But I think
that door was made of sturdy stuff.
I think you just didn't have the tools because those old doors are made out of real wood.
Yeah. I think the screws supplied with the keyhole cover that I got were just terrible. And then I chucked the new one away, used the old screw, which is in the other one, and just used that, and that went in no bother.
DIY 101.
That's when I discovered that the door was broken.
DIY 101, never use the hardware that comes with what you're building. It's always bad.
Yeah, I win no man points for this because I'm just terrible at DIY.
Oh my God, I need a lie down.
So what's the situation now with the keyhole? Are you just back to the way it was?
No, it's on. It's all finished. The door's fixed. The keyhole cover is on. I did win in the end, but it just
the real question.
I did more than 2 hours of work, so I had to have a lie down for 3 days.
Did you crest the 2 hour mark?
I did. I really did.
Okay, then I can forgive you for missing.
Is it no longer cold in your house?
It's actually made a hell of a difference.
There you go, Eric. See? Yeah, he's proved it. He's proved it.
Or you could just buy a normal door that doesn't have a hole constructed in it. I mean, that's illogical.
I don't own the house. I can't just go changing the door.
Call up your landlord. Look, this shit is like 200 years old. Technology's advanced. Put a new door in or I ain't paying my rent.
I think, no, you don't want to upset her, do you, Dan? She's like 90.
Yeah, and she lives next door.
Does she have a keyhole like that?
Yes.
Did she put a keyhole cover on it?
No, because she's daft.
Why didn't you have her put it on? Be like, look, lady, it's cold
she's
here.
Like 90 and that's horrible.
Did she at least pay for it?
No.
Did she listen to the show?
I reckon it was about £3. Yes, she's a big fan.
Is that Edna?
That's what I picture.
She's just gone to fetch the kneecaps on the troll.
The vibrating ones, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, you ripped me a new one last week, and well deserved, I would say, because it was atrocious.
Yeah.
Well, you got there in the end, Dan. You won.
But did he?
I did.
Did he?
Yes, I did. My house is warmer.
I guess.
You do not understand Het is literally the wind trap of the north because it's just so open.
Well, you
so
would live there.
Yeah,
I like it. It's nice. I have a nice house.
It's like Chicago.
Yeah.
Stay for the windy hamlet.
The windy city. Come for the food, stay because you got murdered.
But at the moment, England keeps getting battered by storms all the time, so it's very windy.
To be fair, there are a lot. I've been hearing of big storms, so the first thing I would do is cover up that keyhole as a way of defence.
Hey, I've insulated the windows as well.
There's a storm coming, honey. Cover up that little hole. We want no
honey, stop boarding up the windows. Cover that keyhole. That's the real threat.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
It's like people in Louisiana boarding up for hurricanes. Dan's just over there just trying to hammer a little board across the keyhole. Water's coming through. Dan, that's like 3 drops of water. Before you know it, the place will be flooded.
I tell you what, if you ever come to stay in my house, I'm going to drill a keyhole-sized hole in the wall so this room is freezing.
Please do. That's how I will enter and exit the room.
What, fire the hole in the wall that doesn't open into anything?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well,
I'm glad you're here, Dan. Welcome back. We missed you.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's great to be back.
Jesus, sounds so serious.
We did miss you, though, because I think you quite enjoyed the old Revenge of Shinobis.
I did. I was disappointed you didn't like it.
Ah, yeah.
I think... I can't remember what I really thought of it. I thought it was really difficult, mainly.
It is really tough game.
Yeah, and I think that was what kind of spoiled some of my enjoyment of it. But
I don't know
like
if
the music.
I just got... Yeah.
I banged on about the music quite a lot, and Eric wasn't buying it. Something about the SNES audio.
God, don't start this.
I know, it's just kind of
I
annoyed
listened to
by
this
it.
bit, right, and he's talking bullshit because the Genesis
so
had
annoying.
some classic tunes.
Yeah.
Because if you listen to some of the tunes...
Listen to the Streets of Rage soundtrack, man. That's like orgasms for your ears.
Oh, that Streets of Rage track is banging. I got the vinyl and everything.
I didn't say it was bad. It's an inferior chip to the Super Nintendo. If you play...
Not an inferior chip.
Now you're embarrassing yourself in front of the entire retro community. Oh, God, we'll have to edit that one out.
That's long since happened, Tom.
We'll have to edit that one out.
Well, that's a lot. That sounds like a lot of work. Whatever, I can live with the damage to my reputation.
I don't think there's any coming back from the Super and Mega incident, to be quite honest.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike absolutely ended me there. I will concede defeat on that one. But what's new in the gaming world? Anything exciting? Nobody knows how much the PlayStation 5 is going to cost.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't know if I saw some kind of rumor that it was meant to be $499. Is that just a random rumor?
I think that's where they want to hit, but the cost of components right now, they're trying to find a reliable source for, I think it was memory and other key components, especially cooling components. But right now they're pretty expensive. And I think, what were they saying? The cost to manufacture the console itself was already $450 just to build it.
Oh,
but they usually sell consoles at a loss anyway, so I think this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Look at it this way, Eric, right? If all these rumors are going around, it's going to be $500, and then Sony's like waiting to release the price point, but if they wait for a long time so everybody thinks it's going to be real expensive, then go, oh, it's $350 or $400, everybody's going to be like, wow, it's loads cheaper than we thought it would be.
No, you know what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to have another PS4, Xbox One situation on our hands where they're going to wait for Microsoft to release the price of whatever the hell they're calling their next system, and they're going to come under
Series
that.
X.
Yeah.
But do they need to? When you're on top, do you need to undercut your competition? I would think it would be.
That's true.
That they would. Have
Listen
some
here.
balls and
We've got all the games you want to play. We've got all your favorite franchises. Give us all of your dollars. You're going to be here anyway.
Yeah, that's the position Sony's in. Like, particularly for me, I've owned Xbox in the past. I had the Xbox 360, but I never got the Xbox One because they never had something that would sell me on getting one.
And even if they did, it was maybe 1 or 2 franchises.
Yeah,
And
whereas
Halo
for
is
me,
not enough.
the PlayStation has a significant library of games that I want to play exclusively on that platform. That's why I retain that loyalty. It's for no particular reason other than that. I can understand the merits of both platforms.
Mine's that and the DualShock.
Yes.
I still can't get on. I can't get on with the Xbox One controller. I like some of it, but it still doesn't feel quite right compared to a DualShock.
Muscle memory, son. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That is it right there.
Yeah. But there's something else I don't really like about it. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, you might be right. It might just be...
Doesn't have a
muscle memory.
PlayStation logo on it?
Yeah, that and the touchpad. I really love that touchpad.
Yeah.
Pretty much do all my typing with it.
Really intuitive.
I completely forgot because I've been playing Dark Souls 3 this week that the trackpad has different buttons on either side because it's very, very rarely used.
Yes.
So
I feel like that's
on Dark
used
Souls,
all the time.
It used to be used a fair bit, but I've not had to
no,
lately.
it's usually just one click now and it brings the map up or something. That's usually what it does.
Yeah, I think on the older games they tried to experiment with different, both corners being different things.
Because I was like, where are my gestures in Dark Souls? And then I finally clicked the left hand side, and where there were gestures.
There was a shooter. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Killzone launched on the PS4 where didn't they have different gestures that you had to do on the trackpad to do different things within the game for like reloading and shit like that.
Yeah, Killzone Shadowfall, I think it was. Yeah, those early PS4 games try and utilize the touchpad.
Yeah, like PS3 with Nathan Drake, you need to balance your controller to get him to walk across the log.
So annoying.
Oh yeah,
I hate
those gimmicks die off real quick, don't they? It's like the Switch's HD Rumble. How many games really use that?
1-2 switch. How many marbles are in this box? Don't know.
Because everybody was up in arms about that, thinking, "Oh my god, it's going to be amazing," but not really.
It vibrates and it feels good.
There's a motor that goes round and round when things happen on screen.
But there isn't a motor in there.
Just a little...
Just a bunch of magical gremlins just... Some sort of gremlin
Which
orgy.
has magical vibrating gremlins inside.
Yeah, it's an orgy in there.
Ooh.
That's what it is.
Fetch the vibrating kneecaps.
Yeah. Just turn all their kneecaps on at once.
But Eric, I forgot how good Dark Souls 3 is because I've really been wanting to replay a Dark Souls because Tom's been on about it for the past month and a half or so.
Yes, it's true.
So I thought I didn't enjoy 2 as much as the others, and 1 is ridiculously janky now on PS3. So
you did start 1
One
again,
is
didn't you?
rough to go back to on PS3.
Yeah, well, I got to Blighttown, Tom, and it was even worse than I remembered.
Oh god.
Yeah, when you get to Blighttown, just imagine that being like half a frame a second, and you'll be almost to where the PS3 gets to.
Wow.
It's real bad.
It's just so easy to die there as well. Like with a frame drop, you can literally fall off a ledge and then you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, with the remaster, they definitely fixed all of that. Yeah, I've never played the PS3 version, but the remaster is pretty cracking.
Yeah, but
so
Dark Souls,
you jumped into
Dark
3
Souls
instead
3 is,
then?
Yeah, it's great, man. It's such a good game. So I decided to redo it because I was looking through the sale on PSN, and both DLC packs for Dark Souls 3 are on there now for £8. Bear in mind, when they came out, that would have set you back 40, 45, so saving and a half there. And so I've just started a brand new save of Dark Souls 3 because I booted up my old save, level 150 character, had no clue what the hell was going on.
I think R1 causes me to swing my sword. Let's go.
Yeah, it's £9 at the moment, Dark Souls 3 on PSN.
I would get it,
It
Tom,
is well worth it.
Enjoyed the first one so much.
Dark Souls 3 is fantastic.
Dark Souls 3 is more of what made 1 great. 2 was kind of a misstep.
I did find Dark Souls 3 a little, not too easy, but a lot easier than the previous 2 games. I think I one-shotted like the first 5 bosses.
Wow.
I have been clipping through it at quite a rate. I don't know if I've played them that much now.
One of the optional bosses towards the end, I can't even remember the guy's name, but he is the dude that rides on the dragon.
I
Oh
remember
god,
watching
yeah, he
you
was
do
rock
that.
solid. Rock solid.
You tried it like 100 times, didn't you, Eric?
I tried probably 50 or 60 times, and then I took it to a buddy's house. I'm like, dude, I got to show you how friggin' hard this boss is, and beat him first go there. Like, oh, guess he wasn't that hard. Just needed to change the location.
That's the Dark Souls way. I just love everything about Dark Souls, though, like the little things. I don't know, Tom, if you're aware of this. For example, when you get invaded, it's good etiquette to bow to your invader, and they should do it to you before they attack you as well.
I didn't know that, but that's really cool.
Tom, are you playing on
somebody
PS4?
invaded me earlier today on Dark Souls 3, and I bowed at him, and I half expecting him to come and attack me, and he bowed back before coming to attack me.
And then he killed you.
Then he killed me.
Oh, man. That's cool. I like that.
It's really cool. So
I really want to pick that up on Switch and just kind of have that be a bedtime game, but I just have so much going on right now.
Yeah. I wanted it on Switch, but it just, for me, it was the pricing. It was Dark Souls Remastered.
And I have it
PS4
already
was
on
about
PS4.
£10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's the frame rate like on Switch?
30.
Yeah. PS4, it's locked at 60. But apparently the lighting on Switch is just pristine. It looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they did a really good job with it.
Plus, just
Same
to have
Going
it
back to going back to the first one as well on PS3, that looks terrible. Really bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but it didn't.
Very,
at the time.
very dark game.
I remember, because I played Demon Souls not that long ago, about 3 years ago, and that was actually pretty good.
Demon
on
Souls
PS3.
still
It
runs really great.
actually held up really well.
Yeah.
So I'm
Apart
surprised
from
that
on my
Dark Souls
PS3
was so
because my
bad.
copy doesn't work.
Oh,
Dan, I
yeah.
tell you what, if they ever announce a remaster of Demon Souls, my ghost attack is going to be about on level with your Final Fantasy VII.
Is that possible?
Oh my gosh, I'll try.
I was going to dismiss the discussion about that last week as well.
You know, your game of the decade, Eric, was Demon Souls.
Yeah.
That was my prediction for you.
Was it?
Yeah, I predicted that.
Oh man,
Even though it didn't come out in this decade, the last
it
decade.
did for half the world.
I still put it in there for that exact reason. Yeah, it came out in Japan or something.
And all the PAL regions.
Yeah. Ah, dear.
Back to a couple things within gaming news I think is kind of important. PlayStation and a couple other major companies have been pulling out of gaming conventions recently over fear of the coronavirus that's been going around.
Jeez. Is that like which ones?
PlayStation
PAX?
pulled out of PAX East, and then Facebook, Oculus, and PlayStation have recently pulled out of GDC.
Do you think they'll just cancel PAX East then? Seems like a lot of big names to be out
Stadia
of it.
might be there.
Come try the newest, latest, and greatest from 2012 on Stadia.
Wake up, Batman. I'm Asylum. Tomb Raider.
And a whole bunch of indie games. And Candy Crush.
That's crazy though.
Yeah. I didn't really read through all of it. It's just, yeah. Apparently that's a pretty large concern. And
Yeah,
I'm for it. I think probably we should lock down places and stop this from spreading because it's getting around now.
Yeah, better be safe than sorry.
round, I get around.
I just heard this morning that it's reached Italy apparently. So, yeah. Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
The important thing to remember, though, if you're panicking about coronavirus, is it's got a mortality rate, but the mortality rate is about 2%.
More
Bear in
people.
mind, Ebola had 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even still, how many people died from Ebola when that scare was going around? Not many. Tens of thousands of people die every year from the flu. That's more of a concern. Go get your vaccination.
Haven't these people read The Stand?
Yeah. Didn't
Have
Sony
you read
recently
the stuff?
pull out of E3 as well?
Yeah, Sony isn't doing E3 again this year. They didn't
Jeez.
last year either.
So when do you guys think we're going to actually see anything about the PS5?
Maybe E3?
I think they'll do a slight.
We can't because Sony's not going to be there.
But
that doesn't mean they won't put out a video.
Yeah, one of their video.
Do you think they would really do it through a state of play? They would. I think with something like that, they're going to want an auditorium full of people to go ooh.
Maybe.
No, I think they'll do like a release earlier where they'll show it briefly to a room of people, and then at state of play they'll show off this video, which makes it look ridiculously cool.
They should get Mr. Caffeine back.
On the PS3 days.
Or the guy who did the Wii Music drumming. He was a good one.
Sometimes when I'm just bored, it's good to go back on YouTube and just watch a video of E3 fails because they are just hilarious.
Oh man, E3 of the late 90s, early 2000s was just pure cringe through and through.
You know what my probably all-time favorite is? That guy who just goes, "We've got one more game to announce. Peggle 2!" And he just does this ridiculous jump. Like there's an explosion going to go off.
I do not remember that.
You've got to watch it, man. It's hilarious.
The worst thing that I ever saw
silence.
was when I was at E3. We were at the Sony conference with Ben and Matt and Craig. We were super excited about it, and then they went on to show like 30 minutes of Book of Spells or whatever the hell that was, and they had some lady sat cross-legged on a little carpet in the corner of the stage just casting spells. Like,
oh yeah,
you could have just sent this in an email and we would have cared about as much.
Fuck.
But I'm really glad I got to experience E3 while it was still kind of in its height of popularity and everybody was still there and it was still an exciting place to be. Now it just kind of feels like it's become just another Comic-Con style convention instead of an industry convention where
because they opened it up to the public, didn't they?
Oh yeah, tens of thousands of tickets were opened up for the public, and it's just crammed, and it's just not this industry event where people are going to be announcing the next big stuff coming out.
Let's face it though, if Sony, for example, has pulled out of E3, they can publish a video now and reach probably the same audience, saving themselves millions upon millions of dollars from pulling out of E3.
The death of E3 was inevitable. It was going to come with the advent of the internet, and especially with Nintendo kind of broke a lot of new ground with those Nintendo Directs and how popular those have been. And that's you're right, exactly. They can save tons of money and apply that money towards other things, acquiring new IPs and funding new games. And why do they need a booth where only 10,000 people are going to show up or 20,000 people when they could put a video out and be like, "Hey, everybody, here you go."
My problem particularly with E3 last year as well, basically everything at the event was leaked before it was even on stage.
E3's not as fun anymore.
Yeah.
Because remember for
the equivalent of ruining Christmas and knowing what you're getting.
Well, in years past, we all used to try to watch the convention or the conferences together. And it's just not that fun anymore. It's like, oh, yep, saw that. Oh, and saw that. And maybe one or two new things would come out.
I think the last time I was genuinely surprised was when Final Fantasy VII was announced 5 years ago.
Ugh.
Can you believe that was 5 years ago?
Yep. Jesus. That was my first Factory Sealed show.
Was it?
Was it really?
Yeah. Yep. It was the Final Fantasy VII remake is happening, and
where Dan is just
ghost attacking everyone.
Pounding his meat.
I still remember that WhatsApp message that morning. Eric said, "Oh God, Dan is going to be insufferable." And he was right. I'm still being insufferable to this day.
5 years
Guys,
later.
it is 7 weeks until it releases.
Unless they push it again.
Which I don't think they will, because they've started pushing out marketing materials like VII weeks. Is that 7 Roman euros, Eric? You got it?
Maybe that's why they pushed it, because somebody had that great idea. And they're like, well, fuck, it's only 4 weeks away now. We can't do that. Push it.
You like a good conspiracy, Eric, don't you?
Yeah, just a bunch of bullshit. That's all it is.
I still remember when I first watched that reveal. I remember where I was, what I was doing.
Tingles.
I just remember the reaction in the E3 auditorium was like the reaction I had, just everybody lost their shit.
Well, yeah, because they played that first note from the song, and it's like, oh my God, here it is.
Did you watch it live?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I watched it. I think I must have watched a recording of it not long after.
I was watching it
I
with
watched it
somebody.
on the morning.
Yeah, in the morning, maybe it was. Because I was in England, so different times.
Yeah.
It's getting exciting. I mean, we're rolling up to when all this stuff's going to start being announced.
Yeah.
I tell you what, PS5 day one purchase. Xbox Sex, not sure.
Yeah. Have you guys tried PS Now?
Yes.
Is it good? They're pretty heavy on advertising now on my actual console. Like I keep getting tabs appear.
It's all right, I guess.
I'm starting to get tabs appear for different sales that are showing up.
Yes.
That's weird.
too.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
I'm like, what's going on here? Why are you trying to push
Delete.
stuff on me?
Leave me alone.
Yeah, it's just
I know where the
random
store
bookmarks.
is. I'm fully capable of spending my own money.
Yeah.
They want you to spend more of it.
So, Dan, did you just play a trial? Did you just do the trial for it?
Yeah, I just
30
did the
days?
trial and it was all right. It worked okay on my internet, and my internet's not too bad now.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It's all right, and I just kind of the library to me didn't really scream. It was a lot of things I already had, so there was
Okay.
nothing that really pulled me in to opt for it. But according to Mike, apparently PS Now is bigger than Game Pass, which seems ludicrous.
I think it. Yeah, I used to always kind of just ignore it and think it was just a piece of crap, but apparently it's actually pretty good. Apparently it's just they've been slowly improving it over time because they recognize that they're going to have something that can compete against things like Game Pass and whatever, xCloud, stuff like that. So yeah.
Be interesting to see how they position themselves going forward into the new generation, I guess.
Yeah, and I think one thing I was interested with PS Now is you have access to a lot of PS3 games on there, and like I don't have a PS3, so that can be quite useful.
Yeah, that would be good for you.
Tom, you need to
Yeah.
get a PS3, my friend. Maybe we can get you one when you're down here for your bachelor party. You do know we're going to make the big obnoxious game store rounds, right?
Oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would expect no less.
Yeah, bring some dollars.
Bring some hack into the wedding fund.
Cat, we don't need this, right?
$60 US a year for PS Now.
That's way cheaper than Game Pass. Game Pass is
Not bad.
120.
It's not bad, is it? And trying to see, man, there's a lot of games.
Game Pass, you have the benefit though of the any new releases, you get them on Game Pass, don't you?
Yeah, I will definitely
yeah.
admit that. Yeah, Game Pass, you seem to get, some crazy releases like when they got the Outer Worlds almost straight away.
Yeah. I tell you what, we're not far away
still.
from now. Last of Us 2 as well.
Dude, the next 2 months are just going to be stupid for games. Just absolutely stupid.
Yeah, because
Resident
honestly,
Evil
I
3.
haven't really. Yeah, apart from a bit of Dark Souls, I've not really been playing that much. Other than games for the show and a bit of Dark Souls, I've not actually had anything to get my teeth into. So, I think I'm just waiting now for the storm.
Yeah, I went
Resident
through a
Evil
slump
3
like
and-
you guys. Last week you guys said that a few of you were going through a slump, and I've been
Yeah.
doing the same. Until I've rediscovered. I finished Ni no Kuni. That was great.
Good.
But then once I'd finished that, I was like, what do I play now?
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm like popping games in and trying something. I'm like, nah, not really feeling it. I kind of started Wolfenstein 2, which seems pretty awesome.
That's
But,
a
oh my
real
God.
good game, actually.
It is really awesome. It's running at 1440p at 60 frames, and so it's making my PS4 sound
Just-
like an absolute, like the loudest it's ever been. It
Wow.
is so loud that I have to wear headphones to actually hear the dialogue.
Well, you do need to take
Seriously?
your PlayStation out of the cubby.
Yeah, it's a mix of two things. It's definitely, it could be in a wider open space.
It doesn't
but-
help that you have a towel wrapped around your entire PlayStation as well, and a heating element pointed directly at it.
Yeah, I've got a space heater
What you
in
want to
there.
do is position it next to an open keyhole where some wind can go on to cool it down.
Yeah. But also, I think it's a bit faulty because I used to have it wide open in our last place after I first bought it, and it sounded like it was going to take off when you tried to play fucking Tetris. So, yeah, but it's awesome. It's a really neat game, but I just haven't really been... I normally get quite excited about something and I come home and I'm like, yeah, let's carry on playing this, but it's just more something I just pop in and have a quick
gander with.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to all the games we just mentioned, Resi 3, Last of Us 2.
Yeah, but more importantly, this Tuesday, Superman Zero ZX Legacy Collection comes out.
Yeah, nobody wants it though. Who's been asking for it?
Me.
You know what I mean? This is the problem. Like, I don't know if Capcom have done their market research.
Apparently, they have eliminated some of the most obnoxious aspects of Mega Man Zero. So, by all accounts,
the fact that it's shit.
By all accounts, Mega Man Zero is an even more difficult style of Mega Man game where they made some interesting design choices where when you die, you lose. You start with 3 lives. When you die, you lose all those lives. You go back and you only have 1. And then you can find some lives within the missions, but if you die within that mission and you're out of lives, you go back to the base and you can't ever do that mission again. So you have to be a little bit more careful going through it. Apparently now in the remake, they've added checkpoints within so you can just continually experience the entire game and not have it be as frustrating.
Fair enough.
But also, next Tuesday, 2 Point Hospital on the Switch. Get it?
Yeah. I wonder how that plays on the old switcheroo.
I was reading some reviews and they say it's stellar.
Cool.
Yeah,
that is a really good game.
I have it on PC, but I love those simulation games on PC because you have more fine-tuned control over what you're doing. But to have that on the Switch and just be able to play it portably laying in bed or on the couch or something,
I reckon I probably will get that, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's important to always have one of those kind of pick up and play games on the go. I've always got one. Dead Cells usually.
Well, and 2 Point Hospital is just friggin' hilarious. It is such a funny game. They've somehow managed to recapture all the magic of Theme Hospital, and it's just great.
Did you guys know that in a couple of weeks, Nioh 2 is coming out?
Oh, God.
Weird.
I didn't even know that was being made.
Yeah, I knew it was being made. I just don't really have much interest in it. Do you, Dan?
I thought you guys liked it.
You know what? I really enjoyed the first one, but it was so difficult, even compared to Dark Souls, that I never finished it. So, but the new one is looking more fluid than the old ones.
Then we have, what else do we have coming up?
Cyberpunk.
Well, Doom Eternal. Yeah, we talked about Doom Eternal. Then there is...
Cyberpunk got pushed back, Tom.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is September.
Oh, yes, I knew that.
Resi 3...
I'd love to play that Half-Life game, but I don't think I'll be able to. The new Half-Life
is your Quest compatible with Half-Life?
I think if I get the Quest Link cable, probably.
I thought it was only on Valve Index.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
no, actually, sorry.
It's available for every PC VR.
Oh, yeah, Valve Index.
It's called Half-Life Alyx, right?
Yeah. That looks so fucking good. Like a proper full VR game.
Yeah, that'll be good.
It looks like the kind of game that would sell people on VR, but I think because it's so locked into PC VR, that's not going to do that well. But it'll be interesting to see if when Sony publishes PSVR 2, which I assume is coming, if it'll be on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone got any interest in Animal Crossing?
I want to say yes, but every time I've bought one, I just go, yeah, this just isn't for me. I'm all about those new Joy-Con colors, though.
Whew.
Boy, and that dock is something else.
Is this the sort of like pastel blue and green?
Yes.
Yeah, they're really
so
nice.
Pretty.
Yeah, I would like that.
What else do we have coming out? We mentioned Last of Us 2 is at the end of May.
Iron Man VR.
Okay.
That got pushed back as well, didn't it?
I thought you'd be interested in that.
No.
Well, Mike maybe.
That seems like Vomit Simulator.
No, I think Mike said he was interested in Iron Man VR. I'm almost certain of it.
He did.
It
I
looks
remember him
good.
saying it too.
I'm not into it, but it does look cool if you're into that kind of thing. Marvel stuff. But yeah, some good games coming out, guys. We just got to be patient.
Yeah, I mean, next month we got Final Fantasy, so be all right.
Well, it's all about that Final Fantasy for me. I can wait.
Yeah.
I've waited 25 years.
Aside from that, you guys been playing anything else this week? It's only been a week since our last show, so we haven't really had a whole lot of time. There was a really good retro remaster sale on PlayStation that I bought. Quite a few PS1 games that I didn't have before.
Oh yeah, there is a good retro sale. Yeah, what did you pick up?
I picked up Mega Man 8, Mega Man Legends 1, Mega Man Legends 2, and The Misadventures of Tron Bonne.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
More Mega person.
More Mega Dude.
Haven't you got
You're
all
obsessed.
of it now?
I'm getting close. I'm getting close.
Have you got all the Game Boy ones?
I don't. I don't. I don't have 3, 4, and 5 on Game Boy because those are stupid expensive. But The Misadventures of Tron Bonne is really hard to find complete, and it's really expensive. And then I just don't want to pay for physical copies of Legends 1 and 2. So I bought those because
What the hell's a Tron Bonne?
it is it's a spin-off of the Legends series. It's a prequel to Legends. But I think she's one of the main.
Superman is really confusing.
Yeah, he is. So I picked up
Why
Legends
does he
1 and
need
2.
so many series, man?
I picked up Legends 1 and 2 because people in the community seem to really like it. Like, you got to play it. It's great. And I've dabbled in it before, and it was shit then. And I tell you what, it's still shit. It is such a horribly controlling game. The D-pad makes you move forward and backward and then strafe left and right. And then to turn, you have to use L1 and R1. And imagine trying to play a 3D Mega Man game with those shit controls. And then in order to lock on to characters, you then have to press R2 if they're above you to shoot up at them. It's just not fun.
Oh, those are the 3D ones.
Yeah, they are real bad.
Yeah.
But I tell you what,
they look terrible.
Mega Man 8 is one of the games that I've played very little of. And the PlayStation 1 version is actually really cool. Aside from the atrocious voice acting, the switch to a more colorful, cartoony style is really cool. It's got a lot more character to it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like. Did you watch the trailer for 30X, Eric?
I did.
Oh yeah. So they've announced Eric was all about 20XX, and he got me into it as well. And they've announced a sequel to it called 30XX, which has a new art style and looks even better than the first one. So,
Damn.
looking good.
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
I have a question for Dan.
Okay, Thomas.
Did you buy Days Gone?
I did not.
I think I
was
might buy it.
tempted.
Are you gonna get it
tempted
digitally?
because
It's 1969 in the sale.
Yes, I was thinking of getting it digital, or if an extra $5, I can get a physical copy. So I might
I've been
do that.
waiting for the price drop on that one because it's kind of critically it didn't do that well, but
No,
it seems that people actually really like it.
It's only $25 dues at Target right now, physical copy.
people have enjoyed that game.
All right, put it on the shelf.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. Let's be serious here.
Well, it just looks kind of cool.
It does look neat. I like the idea of riding a motorcycle. I think you can get into a big old semi.
Yeah, you can. You shoot things. You shoot bad zombies.
I think Days Gone was killed by its own hype, though, because this was one of the games that they wheeled out constantly at different conventions, and you felt like you'd seen it constantly, and then by the time it came out, nobody cared anymore.
Well, I think
Yeah,
everybody was
that's
still
very
high
true.
on The Last of Us hype. They're like, yeah, Last of Us is going to be the next Last of Us. And then it's like, nope, you're going to fix a motorcycle a lot.
Yeah. I just remember the first trailer you saw where he was running and he ran past some logs or something and you chopped them with your machete and it made all the logs fall on the zombies and stuff and it looked really cool.
Yeah. My friend said it has some really good moment-to-moment gameplay and, you know, I don't know. He said he had a ton of fun with it and that it wasn't perfect by any means. And also the whole people were constantly slating it with regards to having to fill up the tank in your bike and fix it and stuff. But he said, you just walk up to it and press square. It's not a big deal.
Oh, so it's not like Red Dead Boredom Simulator?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
So don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
you got to fill up your tank on your horse quite often, yeah.
Well, you got to feed him food. You got to brush
Lift up the
him.
tail, straight in there.
You don't. All of that shit was optional.
The real question is, when I get off my motorcycle, do my guns automatically come with me, or do I need to pull them off of the side saddle?
They come with you.
Okay, good.
You never had to pull them off your side saddle anyways.
In Red Dead, yeah, you did. Yeah, you
No, you
did.
didn't.
Yep, yeah, you did. Uh-huh.
For what?
You
What
did,
you want to
you did,
replace?
actually.
What you want to replace the Winchester with a repeater?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
You don't need to. Just keep the Winchester.
that guy back there is mouthing off, and he needs a repeater in the face.
Honestly.
The Winchester's too slow. I need to put as many bullets into his cranium as possible in the shortest amount of time. Can't do it with
Look,
the
it's not
Winchester.
my fault you played Red Dead wrong.
Don't tell me how I play my games.
Tom, I think
the-
you should jump
wait.
onto Red Dead Online, right, and develop this lake persona further and become like this kind of serial killer on Red Dead Online, where you're targeting different players
Just
and
this
chucking them in lakes
mysterious guy.
and see how long it
Imagine.
takes you to become famous.
Oh my god! Can you imagine? Now, the thing is, so I might get something. I might get something this afternoon that tide me over. But so there's three choices. There's Days Gone, No Man's Sky, and Greedfall.
Greedfall.
Greedfall is only £25,
Oh, Greedfall. Go for Greedfall.
but No Man's Sky is only £15.
Go for Greedfall.
And according to Eric, it's stellar.
I didn't say that.
Was it you or was it Dan?
It might be me. It's a lot better than it was, I'll give it that.
Yeah. I'll
There's
admit,
actual purpose to the game now. And the VR, Tom, is cool. Like, really
it's
cool.
real cool.
Oh, damn.
But if you want...
I want to see, because you're on PS4 Pro, I want to see if there's a marked difference between the base and the Pro, because the only reason I can't play more VR on it is it's real blurry.
It was pretty
shit.
clear on the Pro.
Huh.
Yeah, it's real blurry on base.
What? So are you actually piloting the ship?
You play the whole
In
game in
VR.
Yeah,
VR.
everything is VR. So even you can do terraforming of planets. So you get your mining laser out and you start shooting the floor and you go down underground and you can start shaping a cave while you're in it. It's so cool, man.
Wow. They really.
Then jumping in your spaceship and you can use the move controllers as the thrusters and the joystick of the spaceship.
What?
It's neat.
It's real good.
Son.
Even little touches like putting your analysis visor on, you have to lift the move control up as if you're pressing a button on your helmet.
Jesus. I can't believe Eric hasn't sort of, lived in this world for a solid time.
Yeah, well...
And they only keep adding more to it. They did organic spaceships this week.
Jesus, they fair play to them, man. Fair play to them.
I know they pulled it
turned
round.
it-
They did. They could have just let
Yeah.
it to die, but they've done
Unlike that other
so
fucking
much.
thing. What was that other one? Anthem?
Oh, yeah, that's a great game. We should totally get Anthem. It's like $10 right now.
they have announced though that they're going to totally redo it.
Yes, I did see that too, Dan. Yeah, nice. I will believe
Because
it
that
when I see
literally
it.
came out last year and it's now £13 already.
We've also got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for £20.
Oh, dude.
You can get it cheaper.
It's a time sink and a half, but
You
my
can
god,
get
it's
it
a good
cheaper.
game.
Really? You can get it cheaper than £20?
I paid $15, which would be like, what, £10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think you
that's
can get
pretty
it in a double
insane.
pack with Origins as well.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Oh, Assassin's Creed.
oh, Odyssey.
Oh, Dying Light, £15.
Hey, apparently that game's awesome.
Yeah, I always hear amazing things about Dying Light, and I've never tried it.
Hasn't the sequel been indefinitely delayed?
Yeah.
Yes.
This game is so bad, we're just starting over. It'll be out never.
Remember when Dead Island 2 was meant to come out as well?
Didn't it come out?
No.
What?
No.
So we got Dead Island, then Dead Island Riptide, then they announced Dead Island 2.
I was confusing
still
Riptide with
not
the sequel.
seen anything of it.
I have Dead Island, but I've never played it.
I played a
We
little
had
bit.
so much fun, didn't we, Eric?
Yeah, it's a good time. It is a good time. As long as you don't play it properly.
There's just a video of me and him we've killed this zombie and then we're just kicking it on the floor. For 5 minutes. Seeing how much damage we can cause to the body parts.
Is the video still up?
Somewhere.
Yes.
Our old YouTube
Somewhere in
channel
the
is
depths of
something
the
else.
internet.
Yeah, not super deep, like not dark web deep, but it's deep.
When he says deep, he means it's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, deep in
Yes.
deep in the playlist.
Yes.
Guys, should we get on to our reason we're here?
Game of the week.
Every time.
I think it needs to become a staple with the Doppler on there.
Yeah.
So we're doing something a little different this week. We are going back to a 3-game extravaganza with a twist.
A twist.
Twist, 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 twist.
Twist of the week.
What's the twist?
So this week we are doing Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3. But Mike, who still hasn't shown up, had the brilliant idea of playing all 3 and then randomly assigning each of us one of the games to just blindly defend as the best.
Not blindly, but truly, objectively tell everybody in this virtual room why it's the best.
You understand that's not possible, right? It will be blind defense with 0 supporting evidence.
No, I'm not up for just hammering home something that I don't believe in. I'm not a politician.
Tom, have you met me?
You should become a politician.
This one's the best. Why? Because it's the best. Why? Because I said so.
'Cause it's mine.
Why? Because yours sucks. Why? Because it's not mine.
The heels are firmly dug in, Tom. They're not going out anytime soon.
I have crawled up to this hill and I am ready to die.
May not be the right hill.
The heels are so dug in that he is now Diglett.
My little.
It's just his head above the ground.
Yes. My heels are in. And
I think you guys talked about it last week, but I love those pictures of Diglett Underground, where it's like 3 burly men all hugging each other for Doug Trio and stuff.
so funny.
So funny.
Oh, man. But yes, we are here for Golden Axe. And should we reveal which ones we've been assigned, or should we do that later?
You decide, sir.
Yeah, let's get rid of it now. Let's just go on with it. I have been assigned by Mike to defend Golden Axe 1. Dan has been given the vastly inferior Golden Axe 2. And Tom has been given the absolutely appalling, not even released in the United States, Golden Axe 3.
Yep.
Setting the bias early. That's my go-to-market strategy. Get there ahead, set the stage, make everybody else believe yours is shit. Let's talk about Golden Axe.
Now, before we get into this, are we each going to have a fair platform where we don't talk over each other to talk about our game? Or are you just going to dig your heels in and shout
debate
nonsense
stages
at us?
work.
Have you ever seen an American debate?
I'm just going to
I
turn...
demand some time to talk about my game.
Get a better game, and then I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, I'll turn your mics down for a second.
Okay.
I'll just turn the mics
But no,
down.
before we get into defending each of the games, let's talk about Golden Axe as a game and a series. So came out, the first one, May 1989, as a side-scrolling
God, I wasn't
beat 'em
even
up.
alive.
Oh, God. Yeah. Side-scrolling beat 'em up that was made by Sega.
Sega.
Igor.
Developed by Makoto Uchida, who is also the developer for
Legend.
Altered Beast.
Yeah. And it
Altered
shows.
Beast is bollocks,
Oh,
man.
boy, it
Altered
shows
Beast
in
is
the-
so bad. That game.
Yeah, and it shows in Golden Axe, man.
Oh, yeah. It is toilet. Like, hey, this game was great. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
But no.
Let's make.
Yeah, it's your standard fare side-scrolling beat 'em up. The game was designed to be kind of an arcade-style quarter eater, where the game is wildly unfair. You die a lot because enemies will gang up on you. But you take control of one of three characters. You have Lady Butt Cheeks, you have Mini-Me, and Penis Thrust Man.
Can I ask why he's Penis Thrust Man? This is the barbarian you're talking of.
Yeah. Well, in Golden Axe 3, when he does his charge dash, he puts his sword right at crotch level.
Which is perfect, right?
It's perfect. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is perfect.
Penis Thrust Man.
That's his name. Yes. But I think their real names are the barbarian is Axe Battler, but he
Even though he
doesn't.
doesn't have an axe.
He doesn't carry an axe. Lady Butt Cheeks is Tyrus something or other.
She's Blaze from Streets of Rage in a different outfit. That's what she is.
Okay.
That's what I said.
And then Mini-Me is Gilius something or other. Can you tell we've
yeah,
prepared?
he's given a proper fantasy name.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it other than you go from the left to the right, you hit some enemies, and move to the next screen. Your overall goal is to overthrow the dictator Death Adder, who has taken over.
No, you mean Deathbringer.
Well, yeah, but that's a twist. That is a twist, Tom. Spoilers.
Sorry.
He's taken over the peaceful land of Urea, and each person...
Urea?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the neighboring land called? Shit.
Twinned with
piss flaps or something.
But each of the characters has a reason for wanting revenge. I'm trying to remember what they were here. The axe guy.
He doesn't have an axe.
It doesn't have his axe. I think his family was killed, something like that. I'm trying to find that. It's all within the manual. If Mike were here, he would have read it, scanned it, uploaded it, committed it to memory, and then made us all feel like shit for not having read it.
But he hasn't, so in which case you're getting no information whatsoever.
I know. I know. But yeah, it sucks. So.
He's the glue that holds this together out, Tyson, isn't he, really?
Oh, yeah.
Only we
No.
could pull him away from Stadia.
Death Adder killed Axe Battler's mother. And what happened to the other ones? Carry on. I'll figure this out. I read it last night. Tyrius Flare, that's her name.
See? She's even got a fire-related thing in her name. She is Blaze from Streets of Rage.
Oh, man. And the other guy is
She's even wearing red.
Gilius Thunderhead.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Gilius Thunderhead.
Who did you guys play as in the original?
So
Burly Burlington, Axe Thrust Man.
I played as
Yeah.
Lady Butt Cheeks.
Oh, I played as the dwarf.
Oh, good. We all got a little bit of
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't rate him very highly.
Well, each of the characters has a strength and a weakness. So the dwarf guy is really, really good. He's really strong with melee, really bad with magic.
Yes.
Axe Battler is good in both, and then Lady Butt Cheeks is really strong
It's
in
the
magic.
opposite.
Yeah, super strong in magic. So she can get up to 6 magic pots, and she's still pretty good with her melee.
Mm-hmm.
For me, right, though, I wanted to talk about the way... So I have really fond memories of Golden Axe 1. It's this game that one of the first games I ever got, I would say. I think I got it in a triple pack with Revenge of Shinobi and Streets of Rage, and then it had Golden Axe as well.
Oh, Mega Games 2.
Yeah. But going back and playing it, you realise how janky it is and how unfair it is as well. The way the enemy behaviour is set up is it's designed to mob you, so they come from both sides at once, but there's no way, particularly on the first game, of tackling an enemy from both ways at once.
Sort of there is. If you press B and C at the same time, you'll do this attack to one direction, whichever you're facing, and then like swipe your sword back to the other side to hit the guy on the other side. But you do have to time it just right.
That's on the first one.
It is definitely on the first one.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But also you kind of want to take advantage of jumping and attacking to try and clear yourself of areas where it's getting a bit hairy.
I tell you what.
The thing that
Go ahead.
Annoys me a lot with the enemies is that each one, after they've taken a few steps from the side, if you can't get there first, they'll charge you.
Yeah. You've got to kind of walk up and down all the time, so they're not on the same plane as you. Yes. Otherwise, they'll just charge at you, but the charge is so quick, you have no time to react.
No.
I tell you what broke this game, though. Once you get really good with the charge dash attack, it just absolutely breaks the game. So you're never going to actually have more than 6 enemies or 6 people on screen. If you're playing 2 players, you'll never have more than 4 enemies on screen. The game can only, Golden Axe 1 can only handle 6 characters on screen at once. They actually talked about wanting to do 3-player, but the constraints of the system just wouldn't allow them to do that and have enough enemies on screen to make it engaging. So if you're playing single player, you'll have up to 5 enemies. 2-player, you'll have up to 4 enemies at a time. But if you can get between the enemies and charge dash one and then charge dash back the other way, by the time you're done attacking on the right, the guy on the left will be up and you can charge dash attack the other way and just keep bouncing back and forth. It completely breaks the game.
But it's weak though. You have to do that for ages.
Yeah, but it's better than just absolutely getting mobbed and overwhelmed.
True.
Yeah, but the enemies get progressively tougher as well. They get more and more health as you go on, and it just takes forever. I really struggled, so I would normally use this dash attack, but I played it on Xbox 360, and as I discovered, the Xbox 360's controller has a terrible D-pad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It is awful.
Which makes it real tough to pull off.
I personally don't think the Xbox One's D-pad is that much better.
It's not.
And I was also often double tapping, and it wouldn't even really register.
I just kind of did whatever and hoped I got lucky.
If you don't get the timing right too with the double tap, and maybe you do the dash attack, but the enemy hasn't actually come into the screen, you'll just you'll miss, and then you'll be standing there ready to be attacked.
Well, the other thing too is that the enemies have a very small hitbox, so you can be a little bit north of where they're at and miss them entirely. And it's more noticeable on the large enemies, your big knights, giant ogres and trolls, where... Yeah,
those are the ones as well who can, as you get near them, just kick you in the face rather than you being able to attack them. And it's so unfair. And then later on, it's like, oh, remember that boss you fought earlier? Well, now we're going to have 3 of them at once. You're going to have to fight them all at the same time. Oh, thanks. And they've got more health than they did last time.
And they'll be blue instead of green.
Yeah. But the other thing that really breaks this game too is that and this is across the board for Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3, is that the AI is not very intelligent. And there are quite a few spaces within the game where you have pits or little cliffs where that you can fall off. And the enemies will always take the shortest path to you, regardless of what's between you and them. So if there's a cliff, they'll walk off that cliff and die. The best thing you can do is get on the other side of an enemy or like kite them down to where a cliff is and then just charge attack them off the edge. And it works on every single enemy, whether it's the giant mini bosses or just a group of skeletons. You can clear rooms really easily if you just get really good at positioning yourself by those cliffs. Or sometimes it'll be like a little inset pit within the level, and you just get way down at the bottom of that of the pit by the screen, and they'll just walk themselves right off the cliff.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
But on another note, because you mentioned them, the skeletons are the worst enemies in this game.
Unless you can get them on a cliff above you, you can just hack at their kneecaps, and for some reason, they don't fall down or they don't come after you. They'll just stand there and let you kill them till they die.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're on a
So
different
basically,
level,
to win on this game, you have to break it.
You do.
you have to kind of cheese it a bit. Yeah.
So I played it on the Genesis collection for PS3. And the first time I popped it in, I made it to level like world 4. There are 8 worlds. You start off with 3 health bars and 3 continues, so 9 lives. You can go into the menu and give yourself 5 health bars and 3 lives. And if you want, you can then put in a cheat code to give yourself 9 continues. So you can get a max of 45 lives. But the first time I played through it legit, I made it to end of stage 4, and then I started cheesing it and got to the end of stage 7 and didn't want to replay through everything. So then I used the level skip cheat to get up to the final boss. So once you beat Death Adder, the king, and who I guess is the princess. I thought it would have been the king and queen, but in the credits it says king and princess. Why just those 2 are captured and not the queen? Who knows? But they say, hey, thanks for saving us, but I believe Death Adder was taking orders from somebody else, so would you go into the fray for me once again? And you have 1 more level, and then you get to the end, and then you see Deathbringer, and he's got 2 skeletons who have just what appears to be infinite health. And I sat there trying to beat him and those skeletons for an hour on the PS3 version, just physically could not do it, and said, fuck it, this game's impossible, I'm not doing it. So last night I fired up the Sega Genesis Mini. Like, all right, I got to beat this because it's my game that I've been assigned, and I plowed through it, got all the way to the end, beat him first go. So it is possible, I guess. But that's only cheesing it. I made it all the way to the end, only having used 3 lives, 2 lives, maybe 1 continue. So then you have like 8 lives within the final boss to defeat the skeletons and Deathbringer.
When you come across the king and the princess, that's where the arcade version stopped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so they added that in for the Genesis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We didn't talk about the magic that you can get too. So everybody obviously has their little swords and dash attacks, but you can pick up little potion pots that you get from kicking little pixies in the crotch, and then they throw magic pots down for you to pick up. And depending on how many of those you have, the barbarian gets 4. I think.
I can't remember.
I know the Amazonian gets 6. Her magic is super strong. But anyway, the more magic you have, the stronger your magic attack is. And typically those are best saved for the bosses. You walk in, you fire off all your magic and kill off the smaller minions around, and then take on the boss himself. Mm-hmm. But the magic is cool in this game, especially if you're the Lady Butt Cheeks and you have all 6. Like, this massive dragon comes in and just lays waste to the entire screen.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, the magic is one of the things I remember most fondly about it being really cool back in the day. Kind of just playing with a friend and then just firing off some magic. It's cool.
The dwarf has the least amount. I believe he only has 3, and his are real weak.
Is he wind?
I think, yeah, the axe guy is earth. No, the dwarf is lightning, and the female is fire.
Yes.
Oh, yes, lightning, of course.
But she has like 3 different stages of dragons that come in. One comes in from the side and just blows everything up, but then the biggest one comes in from the top and just decimates the entire screen. But yeah, that's Golden Axe 1, and it is, like Dan said, the best one.
I don't think I said that.
Oh, I'm going to rewind the tape. You definitely said that. I mean, it's there. I agree. I want to make sure that you have the right.
I would have to argue that Golden Axe 2 is the best.
But you see,
being told I have to.
Okay, go ahead. Go talk about Golden Axe 2 before we start defending our initial ones.
Well, if you liked so I'm not defending it yet, am I not? I don't know.
I'll let you know if you've crossed the line.
Okay, I'll just talk about then. Golden Axe. Golden Axe 2 is basically Golden Axe 1, but shinier and more fluid. So it plays better, it's more fun, and it's just a better time, really. It's more of the same, but if you play it back for them back to back, 2 is the superior game, in my opinion.
That's all you're going to say about it?
That's fair.
There's nothing more to it. That's it. But apart from the major difference is the magic meter. So in 2, the magic doesn't work like it did in 1. If you got, for example, 6 bottles of magic in 1 and then press magic attack, you would use all of those
them,
potions.
which
In
sucked.
2, you can hold down the button to use as much magic as you want.
I did
Which
like
gives you
that.
infinitely more flexibility.
I did like the ability to be able to choose how many you're using.
Oh, I didn't know you could choose.
Yeah.
What, you hold down A?
Yeah, and then a little meter fills up.
It charges up your bottles.
Unfortunately, what happens, though, is you are vulnerable during that time. So it's best to start charging after you get hit.
Right.
You still end up saving them all up and then use the full amount on the boss. But
I tell you what really sucks about these the games. Typically, when you get hit, you fall on the ground and you flash. And in most games, that's your invulnerability period, where you can't get hit. But what happens in this game is, especially during the bosses, and it's most noticeable during Deathbringer, in the first one, you get hit, you're on the ground, you're flashing, and then he'll cast a spell while you're down and you're flashing. So you're down, you've lost health, and then he'll cast a spell that hits you and takes off even more health before you even have a chance to get up and interrupt his spell. The game's super unfair.
it is at every point, like the enemies are there to try and disrupt you with their mob behavior. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like you said, Eric, it's a quarter eater.
Oh my God, is it? I remember
Yeah.
there was a campground we used to go to as a kid, and this is the only arcade game that they had, and we would just dump money into this thing.
It does lend itself to being a good arcade game. Like, I think you'd have been a bit... the series as a whole, buying them on consoles would be a bit like... Unless you had a friend to play with. You'd be like,
You know, in looking back at it, I think I always confused this game and Gauntlet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just, they're the same style of game, but I think if you're comparing it, Gauntlet was much better, is much more polished.
Yeah, Gauntlet's
Yeah,
awesome.
you can.
Gauntlet's
Looking
legendary.
back at it, even with the nostalgia factor, you can see that particularly Golden Axe 1 is rough around the edges, to say the least.
Well, I think realistically, all 3 of them are. Golden Axe 2, yeah, they gave you some new character sprites and they changed the color of some of the enemies, but it is essentially more of Golden Axe 1. It is basically a DLC pack. And by all accounts, it was rushed into production to compete with the Super Nintendo.
Oh, which game in particular? Or
Golden Axe 2.
Yeah, but what were they? What was that trying to compete with? What was that
Just
an answer to?
Just the new Super Nintendo on the market. They're like, hey, we need more games to keep people within the Sega ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, it was fine. It was more of the original, but kind of like with Dark Souls 2, it's like, innovate, give us something new. If we wanted more Golden Axe 1, we would just play Golden Axe 1.
Golden Axe 1. Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you? You're getting more of what was good already, but in a more polished package. It's like it's definitely the best game in the series. Yes.
Is it?
If you play that compared to the first one, the first one is a solid gold turd. The second one is a slightly more solid and polished gold turd.
I don't know.
The animation
the third
is nice.
one is an absolute janky mess.
Oh, the third one's beautiful though.
Now, to be clear, we're talking about actual Golden Axe 3, not the one between the two that was technically the third one, called Golden Axe: The Revenge of Death Adder, which was an arcade exclusive.
No, I never played that one.
Which is apparently really good.
Oh, I mean, I can believe that because...
Look up some pictures for it. Holy shit, this game looks fantastic.
Hang on. Oh, it does look... Hang on a second. The Revenge of Death Adder. Death Adder.
There's so much stuff going on the screen. This game looks fantastic. Why didn't we play any?
That does look amazing.
Can we all just
actually
agree that this one's the best?
Yeah, that looks
well done,
really
Mike.
fun.
Your concept's gone out the window.
Oh, this game looks fantastic.
Is there no way to play this?
You'd need a MAME emulator.
Ah, yes.
So I'm going to load that up on my RetroPie this afternoon and give it a shot.
Why? Yeah, why not?
Dude, it looks so
That
good.
looks cool.
Apparently, it's
It's
based on a
like-
comic book. Yeah.
Huh, you get to play as a centaur in that one.
Only Gilius Thunderhead makes a return. He rides Goa the Giant. Rest of the cast: Sternblade the Barbarian, Dora the Explorer, Little Trix, who carries a pitchfork, and the enemy Death Adder again.
Wow, those screenshots look awesome.
They do. Maybe
Damn.
because they didn't have to nerf it to fit onto a 16-bit console. But before you go ahead and say that Golden Axe's most definitive feature is branching paths, this is the one that introduced it.
Well, yeah. I mean, but we're talking about the home consoles here, so to bring that sort of depth and, difference in, how you move, this non-linearity, Golden Axe 3, guys.
But let me remind you that it was only brought to home consoles in a very small portion of the world.
Well,
Make
it
sure
came
you're
out in
providing
Japan
all of
and
the
North
facts.
America. Yeah, it came out Japan in 1993, North America in 1995.
Well,
Right.
technically, there was a little bit of a caveat. It was available for a short period of time in Europe and North America via the Sega Channel, which was Sega's modem-based game downloading system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, did you guys have that?
I did not.
Or was any
I
in North
did not
America?
either.
That was Dreamcast, right?
No.
No.
Well,
That wasn't
it started
Dreamcast. It
with
was a little
Genesis.
adapter for it, wasn't it? Yeah. for the
Yeah, it was a
Genesis.
thing you
Yeah.
plug, like a cartridge, quite literally a cartridge that you plug in, and it
Man.
had like a coax cable and stuff.
Sega's downfall is that they were just always a little bit ahead of their time.
Yes.
I mean, that
And then
is that is revolutionary right there.
Yeah.
And then the Saturn
cool.
just came out too soon, and then the Dreamcast was like a full generation ahead of its time.
We owe a lot to Sega, guys.
Yeah, pour one out for them. Anyway, continue with your explanation. What is Golden Axe 3 and why should we
Well,
care?
the thing with Golden Axe 3, to be totally fair and objective here, is that it's I think it's the same when you were trying to explain Golden Axe 2, Dan. It is more of the same. Like, the plot can be summed up very simply. Like, it's just it's just
Go from left to right, save people.
yeah, and there's like a prince or a princess, I can never remember which, has basically been abducted. Go and save them. Work your way through various stages. So that's, it's really hard to, I don't think we're ever going to be able to separate these three games through plot, because there kind of isn't really one that's of any interest to anybody. Not really, Eric. We know that we'd be stretching it here.
Golden Axe 3 added a lot of new moves to the series, though.
Oh, yeah, moves, but not plot.
The plot was garbage.
Yeah. Now, I know we don't play these games for plot, but I just felt like mentioning that.
Yeah.
Now, but where this game really shines is it's just its mechanics for the combat. And that's what it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. So that's important, guys. All right? We've got grappling now. We got some special attacks. You've got an extra 2 characters to choose from, so 5 in total now.
Yeah, you have a cat who looks like a Khajiit. That's who I played through the whole time.
And we do have some branching paths, so you can play through it again and see what it was like if you went another way instead. How exciting.
And each character had unique abilities. Did you ever experiment with any of their super moves?
Yes, so long as I
Knew the button combination?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
using Penis Thrustman's super twirly sword move quite a lot.
Yes. And I figured that out by accident. Halfway through
Oh,
the
there's some
game.
enemies coming towards me. Well, I'm going to twirl my sword unnecessarily, so it takes longer to hit them.
Also, Golden Axe 3 had prisoners you could free.
Yeah, it did.
And you
Yeah.
could get extra lives through that. So
There were chests that you could open, and also instead of having these little thieves with the little sacks that run around that you would kick magic potions out of them, they had like these mages instead.
No,
that
that's
you would-
2.
Oh, which was the
3 brings them back.
Yep, 3 brings them back.
Oh,
And they're
3
smaller in
brings them
3.
back.
But you see, that's
Oh,
where
yes.
Do different things like come down vines and go underground. and
yeah, they would go underground. Yeah,
That's where Golden Axe 3 kind of stumbles, because it's essentially the easy mode of the series, because you can continually get 3 lives. You can get more lives throughout the course of the game. 1 and 2, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
I think 3 was
You
kind
barely
of cool
get any
for
health
its...
either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 3 was definitely more accessible. And so
Shouldn't I be defending 3 if it's an easy mode?
There was an easy mode, yeah.
No, I'm
in
saying
3.
shouldn't I be defending 3 because it's easy mode in general? That's what I
you
was
should
just
be.
saying.
Oh. Yeah, probably.
But here,
I mean-
this is where they took a step backwards, though, too, because the magic system in 3 went back to using all your pots at once instead of being able to choose.
Yeah, you couldn't. You would launch a full-on 6-potion attack, whether you liked it or not, on one skeleton accidentally, which happened to me once.
I did that
We've
on
all
the
been
very
there, like on
first
Streets of Rage, where
screen.
you press A and the police car comes in.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. This one, actually, in the third game I played as Penis Thrust Dude.
He
So
was
did
fun.
I.
How ridiculous was the lady's leg thrust? Like, she's standing up tall, and instead of like jumping and thrusting, she gets really low to the ground and like hovers along the bottom of the ground.
Yeah, it was kind of
It's ridiculous. It looks so dumb.
And graphically, it's a bit different. So now the characters have a standing animation. You know, like, did you know, guys notice that? I mean, it was a bit more movement on the screen, even when you weren't doing much. Like,
No.
things felt just a tiny bit more alive.
Yeah.
It was
What?
it was fluid in the same way that 2 was more fluid than 1. And they were a
I
little
don't
bit more
understand why
generous
this
with...
didn't get a Western release.
Because
Like,
it was
there's nothing
really
wrong with it.
bad.
No,
I don't think it was
that
bad at
wasn't
all.
It wasn't that.
But it was
wasn't that, Eric.
so.
No,
If you want
Eric.
bad, you want to go back to Golden Axe 1. Golden Axe 2 is the best of the lot, but 3
That's
is a
the thing.
close second.
At the time, critics were saying they were applauding Sega, saying, "You know what? Good on you for not bringing it to North America, because the game's drab graphics and mediocre quality would likely have damaged the Sega Genesis reputation."
Yeah, but
Yeah.
sometimes
Compare it
critics are
against
full
the
of shite.
Super
Look at Days
Nintendo.
Gone.
Because
Look at Days Gone. We just said before.
look at
Yeah.
Days Gone. Critics
Gone.
didn't
Tom,
like it, but
yeah.
everybody
You
else
cannot
does. They're full of
defend-
shite.
we know
Critics
this.
don't like films. Loads of critics didn't like So Nice the Hedgehog movie. It's great.
Yeah,
Tom, you cannot
Imagine
defend
that.
the environments in Golden Axe 3. They are atrocious compared to 1 and 2.
The contrast was kind of beautiful in some of the some cases. Like, I thought the character details and the pixel art in general was very good.
It was
on the
it was a
characters.
stark left turn from the beginning, so it's essentially not even the same game. You could just be in a different series. It's like the series
Which is
formerly
cool,
known
right?
as Golden Axe.
They effectively innovated and
No,
made the
no,
significant
no,
changes.
no.
Like Golden Axe 2 was sort of Golden Axe 1.5. I think Dan sort of just put it succinctly when he said it's just more of the Golden Axe 1. Golden Axe 3 kind of stands
That's all
out
you
as its own
need, Tom.
thing.
That's why it's the best, mate. That's why it's
I
the
get
best.
that.
No,
I get that.
no.
But you're improving on shit. That's the main, like, let's take the shit, make it a slightly bigger,
But listen,
more rounded shit.
Golden Axe 3
3
went
is
back
like-
to some of the core mechanics of number 1, saying, you know what, 2 was shit. We need to go back to the proper groundations of this
No, no,
series.
two is good shit.
But it's not.
If you put them all together and rearranged them into the right order, you would have 2, then 3, then 1.
That's
Then
not
you could
it.
use
That's
that
not
as the solid
true.
foundations to
No.
play that series on.
No. You guys your games are standing on the shoulders of a giant. This game helped revolutionize the beat 'em up genre. Everybody else was all about fighting with fists. I read an interview with the developer talking about how difficult it was to actually animate the characters with their weapons, because
I know it shows.
exactly. Well, most of the beat 'em ups
But
at
if you
that
play
time,
2, it doesn't.
most of the beat 'em ups at that time, if you recall, were just people fighting with their fists. Because in order to give an enemy or to give a character a weapon and allow them to swing it properly, it gives them too large of a reach. But they found a way around it. And that's why
Well,
Golden
they
Axe...
thought they would just animate it terribly, so it's really hard to play.
So yeah, I mean, like, you're right in that sense that Golden Axe came along and did and shifted the goalposts, but it's just awesome that they managed to iterate not once on it but twice.
Yeah, but
And
3's
so
not
we
even the
ended up with
same
something
game.
Fantastic.
It's not even
What's
the same
cool about-
series.
And even with the 3, they have finally, you have some good UI improvements. So you have a proper health bar now that we'll be more familiar
it's easy
with in
mode.
other games.
It's super easy mode.
Which is nice because Golden Axe 1 is frankly too difficult. You know, it's
I don't know. I ended up beating it. I looked at it. I posted.
2 is the ultimate medium, guys, because you have that old bar where it's a nice bit of mystery, but it's so much more fluid. It's just
there
a
is
better
mystery.
game.
There is mystery. I won't doubt that.
It's just
but
I like a bit of mystery. You know, I don't like to know how much health I've got. Don't need to know if I'm about to die or not.
Did you guys like it though that when you would finish a level in Golden Axe 3, you would actually physically walk into the next level and then more enemies would spawn? So you had this kind of seamless.
Nope. I liked going back to camp and beating up small people.
No, you still went back to camp, don't get me wrong, but there were times when you would move between levels. So there's one level where you are on a cart that's being pulled by a couple of creatures. Do you remember that one?
I liked that level, yeah.
That was cool. So there's a bit of motion going on there. You have to, and you can grapple and throw enemies off the cart. And then when you get off it, it doesn't go to a loading screen or go to a map. You just walk seamlessly through to the next stage, which is just, you know.
It was nice but that scene is entirely ruined by the weird snail creatures, which are just
what are
inferior in
those?
every way to the creatures from the other games.
L'escargot, you know.
We didn't l'escargot. We didn't really talk about the mounts. There are different mounts throughout the games. Dragons,
Yes.
weird dune creatures,
Fish things.
Yeah, fish with saddles and legs, like they just crawled out of the primordial ooze.
It's like playing Evo Search for Eden.
Yeah, and then Tom's game has these goofy fucking
Like
snail
dinosaurs
velociraptors that spit out rock tongues.
Yes, they do, which is kind of cool.
I don't know.
No, I'd say the mounts are better. Definitely on 2. Like that dragon on 2, spot on.
They are the same.
Some of the pixel work though in GA3, like on the enemies and stuff, and especially when you had prisoners, so you had way more characters on screen. It made it a bit more exciting, like you were really fighting for something. You know, I mean, I'll share just this little screeny with you guys, but like that's a really nice looking game. The backgrounds are pretty cool.
They're pretty drab.
The textures on the grass, you didn't get those. In the first few games.
I think that's I don't think that's right. That seems like it's been
to give.
No, that is Golden Axe 3.
To give listeners context, this image that Tom shared basically shows 2 planes. So on your higher plane, you've got 2 people in weird gimp outfits standing in front of prisoners.
Those are ladies.
In a really badly rendered forest. And on the lower plane, you've got Penis Thrust Man, who is crouched on top of a velociraptor who appears to have a really curly shit on top of him, which looks like a snail.
And he's got no arms.
No. Guys, he's sat
Would
on
he
a
just
rock.
topple over because he's got no balance?
He sat on a rock, but that brown point, that's something else.
That's his chocolate sausage.
But you're right. You're right in a sense, Dan. You're right in a sense. It does look like that velociraptor couldn't really take his weight. I mean, that dude's got to be weighing at least 250, 260 pounds of pure muscle mass.
Just bone and sinew.
Weighing in at 260 pounds from urea. Penis Thrust Man.
Woo!
Yeah, from urea. Also, I like the enemy in Golden Axe 3 with the guys with the rotund like tummies, and they would like run and just push you off the screen.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fat bastards in Golden Axe 3.
Yeah. Well, they've had all those games to put the extra pounds on to try and defeat Penis Thrust Man.
They got to absorb all those thrusts. But let's think about this here. This is a trilogy that we are evaluating. When you look at trilogies as a whole, generally, the first is always revered as the best. Sequels
works in movies, not games.
You want to talk about games? You want to talk about games that the sequels were worse than the beginning? Let's talk about Mario 2. Let's talk about Zelda 2. Let's talk about Perfect Dark Zero. Let's talk about Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
Zelda 2 was excellent.
Zelda 2 was fucking pants.
On the other side, let's talk about Mass Effect 2.
Oh, yeah.
Which is infinitely better than the first one.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed, there's a fine example.
The Force Unleashed 2, that game didn't live up to it.
Dead Rising 2, that was better. The Ratchet and Clank games, they're all better
How
than the
about
first one.
any Sonic sequel?
Sonic Generations was pretty good. Sonic Mania as well is excellent.
Devil May Cry 2 wasn't good.
What about
I'd argue
Sonic 2?
that Sonic Mania is the best in the series of 2D.
That's quite something, dude.
I don't know. When you talk about storied franchises, people always go back to the beginning. Like, you know what?
Metal Gear Solid 3, better than the first one, maybe?
That's a stretch. I think if you're looking in the pantheon of Metal Gear games, the first one is at the top. See, Tom was shaking his head. As much as he wants to disagree with me, he can't. When you hear Metal Gear, you think of the first one.
I don't think we can really go down
Dark
this
Souls
route,
better than
though.
Demon Souls.
Can we really go down this route of comparing other trilogies? It's just too...
No, because it is a
No, it's not how it
legitimate.
works.
It is a legitimate argument here.
I don't know. It's too loose for me.
It's
not
not.
grounded.
It's not.
It's not grounded in this series.
But let's look at movie trilogies. You've got the Matrix trilogy, 2 and 3 were hot turds. The Hobbit trilogy, they just went downhill from there. Any of the
Yeah, but
Star
then-
Wars trilogies, the first one was the best, and they made 8 more movies after that were not as good as
Everyone
the
knows
first.
Empire Strikes Back is
everyone
far
knows that
superior
The
to the
Empire
first one.
Strikes Back is the best
Nah,
Star Wars movie.
I disagree.
And let's not go into that one. Also, Terminator 2, as great as Terminator 1 was, Terminator 2
Terminator 2 is better.
is
100%.
fantastic. Yes.
One of the best films ever made.
Yes, agreed. So, Eric, this is a really tough one for you to get to handle. I suggest you sort of look somewhere else. You're looking in the wrong place, dude.
He's clutching at straws, Tom, because he's got a turd of a game to
No
defend
way.
it, so
I
he's
am
just
holding
trying-
on to just a solid piece of
Turd.
gaming history right here. Everybody else, we want to be like Golden Axe 1.
Even the box art for Golden Axe 3 is better than the other two. It's got that cool blue when Mega Drive went all blue on the spines. Ugh, gorgeous.
But what about Golden Axe 3's title screen, Tom?
Oh, what a hot mess that was.
That was nice. Because do you know what I like about that one? Is straight to the point. Title, start game. Why do you need all the bullshit around it?
Because I want to
No,
know
you
what I'm
don't.
about to get into.
Do you? You don't. You said story is for other people.
Yeah, but I at least want to see
Eric
pictures.
Pearson, well known for skipping everything.
Yep.
Look at that shit. Look at that.
Oh, hey, Tom, let me show you a picture of your character select screen. How cool is this? Yay. That looks like a fucking seizure. Yeah, defend that one.
Also, why can't you play as the dwarf dude anymore?
Because he died.
You can.
You can at the top.
Yeah, there are 5 playable characters. And
Can you?
that is actually quite a nice screen because if you think about it, none of the other characters are wearing orange, so it's good to put them against that background.
But Tom, let's be serious here. In the very first game, you are standing on the hand of a giant skeleton.
Which is so dumb.
That is awesome.
They didn't utilize the space very well, did they, with that?
No, because it's
here's
ominous.
here's the screen. Choose your character here.
Exactly. But if you had 2 players, then his other hand would be out. That's why.
It's just
Here,
Yeah,
they
and-
just give you an absolute visual overload. And
But
hell,
are we
look at that.
really gonna
Even the
grade-
character colors start to blend in with the background. You can't even see half of Mr. Khajiit's pants. It looks like he's just a bunch of disembodied parts.
yeah, but are we really going to grade our entire series on this player select screen?
Well,
guys?
so far, the
we've gotta-
first 2 screens that you see of this game are absolute shit.
We got to get real.
Garbage title
what-
screen, terrible player
Let's
select.
get to the meat. We've got to get to the meat, to the sustenance of what we're providing here.
the fiddles?
Yeah.
If you're talking about
gotta really-
levels here, the first game, you're on the back of an eagle flying through the sky. You're on the back of a giant turtle. Talk about some sweet ass environments. What are you in 3? Oh, I'm going to ride on this bone cart being pulled by poop dinosaurs?
Yeah, it is cool. I like that one.
No.
I like that it's more grounded. It's more realistic.
No, don't give
You
me
can't
that
fly
shit.
on the back of birds.
That one was so poorly programmed that the second you pull off any of your magic, the entire screen starts to shake and just become transparent, and half the shit on there disappears because the console can't handle what the hell's happening.
It kind of proves that they really tried to push the bar on the developer side, but the console
Yeah,
just
and
couldn't
failed.
quite match it. No, they pushed it. They pushed it hard. Their dev kits probably worked really well.
Do you think they did more than 2 hours of work?
I
Yeah.
hope not.
It
Whew.
shows.
Jesus.
Also, what's up with the kanji letters behind the titles?
The kanji letters?
Yeah, it's just Japanese
Oh,
characters.
yeah.
Is that
Which I think is nice. I like that. I always
It's
like
the
a bit
language of
Japanese.
urea.
what
Yeah.
is this title screen or this box art? I mean, he doesn't look intimidating in the least bit. He's a scrawny, lanky ginger dude, and you've got butt cheeks lady doing some sort of Broadway pose, and then you've got midget Santa Claus in the back.
The background is kind of weird. It looks like a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I mean, this guy probably couldn't even rip a Kleenex in half.
Also, why is what is apparently penis thrust man wearing a WWE championship belt?
Oh
The
God!
champ of urea.
Game art boxes back then were so bad.
Yes, they fucking
All right,
were.
objectively, without let me pull my heels out of the ground a little bit here. Just
Fucking hell, that would be a first. You hear that? Can I get a recording of that? Can someone snip that for me?
just a bit. I really didn't like Golden X1 when I first played it. Really didn't like it. Went, fuck, whose idea was this?
It was yours.
And then, well, it was better than the alternative. But then last night I played through it again and got to the end and went, you know what? It's not that bad. And then I played 2 and went, okay, that's just more of 1. Yeah, it's a little bit more polished. The character animations are more fun, but it's just the same game I just played. I enjoyed 3 because of some of the changes it made. The combat in 3 was far more engaging. I didn't like how... I felt like 3 was kind of boring, though. It just started to drag on. I think the magic of 1 and 2 is that they were quick. I think I beat the first one in 25 minutes.
Let me take my heels out of the ground.
Okay.
Golden Axe 1, I remember very fondly because I actually remember playing it back. I had the cartridge and it was on the same cartridge as Streets of Rage and Shinobi, and we would sometimes play that 2-player, but we ultimately always defaulted to Streets of Rage because it just didn't quite have it. But it was a good time. It was unique, and then like I agree with you too. Improved on the animations. I like the meter, so you could choose how much magic to use. That was definitely a huge improvement.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And 3, I genuinely did find the combat more fun, and I did think that the it doesn't add a ton, but the little branching pathways was a nice little touch. But I did find that the stages dragged on a little bit too long.
For which one again?
Oh god, yeah,
For
on
3?
3.
Yeah.
The stage went on a bit too long, and like you just get the same enemies again and again thrown at you, and I was like getting a little bit bored. So 3 was the hardest one to finish for that reason, but I had the most fun with the combat. So if they just shortened that a bit and maybe not taken away some of the key features of the first 2 games.
What I liked about 3 is that it did have far more levels. It had
It did.
4 additional levels to it because there was 8 stages.
Yeah.
No, 6 additional levels, depending on the path that you went.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Because you have your start
So
and
it's
your
cool.
finish are the same, and then the 6 in between are different. So you can have 6 on the bottom or 6 on the top. So there's 14 stages instead of 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of
Well,
neat.
let me dig my heels out of the ground and I'll talk about them as well. So, Golden Axe 1, you know what? I loved it back in the day, but I can't love it now. It's too janky and plays real unfair. Then you move on to 2 and it's much more polished. Yeah, it's more of the same, but it's a lot better than the first one, and I could instantly feel the fluidity and the difference in the movement compared to the first one, making it much easier to actually attack the enemies and stuff like that. And you know what? I really enjoyed 3 quite a lot as well. I don't know why this didn't get a release anywhere else, because it's a really good game actually, and I enjoyed it a lot, and particularly the branching paths. I thought that's an excellent decision.
Did you beat 3, Dan?
I did beat 3.
I did not. I made it to stage 7.
3 was the only one I beat.
I beat 1 and 2, just didn't beat 3.
I beat 2 and 3, but not 1. I got to the end of 1, but fucking hell.
Yeah,
That was
Deathbringer
difficult.
is something else.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember when Dan, you shared with me that sort of unofficial Streets of Rage remake, and that has branching paths in it and stuff. That was really cool.
Have
So
you
was nice
tried
to
it?
see- Yeah. It's
It's awesome, man. It's so good.
Have you played
There
that,
are so
Eric?
many different paths through it as well, depending on where you go.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Changes the game entirely.
Yeah. I'm excited for the fourth game, which I think is supposed to be this year. Streets of Rage 4.
You know, I think what this has shown me is that beat 'em ups just aren't my thing.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
like Mother Russia Bleeds.
Yeah, and that's where I think the one caveat is that these games probably would have been a lot more fun had we been playing 2-player on the couch together. You can tell
Yes.
these were designed
Oh, yeah,
to be
100%.
multiplayer games.
They really were.
Because
Yeah, they
especially with Deathbringer at the end of the first one, you have one person managing the skeletons and you have one person attacking the boss.
Or if you're playing with Eric, just doing whatever the hell he wants and going against you and the team.
Yeah. That's probably
I
what it
played
is.
Streets of Rage with this man. Streets of Rage, though, if you compare it against Golden Axe, is the infinitely better series with a lot more
Yeah.
fluidity and a lot more fun
It's
to it, I
crazy.
think.
Yeah, it's
Looking
crazy
back,
how much
those
better
are the
that
ones I
is.
remember the most fondly.
You know, Dan, that the Streets of Rage 4 is going to be done by the same composers as the for the music as the original
Yep.
series. So cool.
Has that been
I
officially
love
announced?
that soundtrack.
Yeah,
Interesting.
there's trailers and everything. It's coming out. It just says 2020. Don't know exactly when.
It's got really cool, like comic booky art style.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like. Did you guys ever play Comics Zone for the Genesis?
Yes.
Yeah, where you'd jump between the different comic panes.
So cool.
Yeah.
Rock hard, that game as well.
So difficult. But good. Yeah. Did you ever play The Punisher, Dan, on Genesis?
No.
That's another side-scrolling beat 'em up you'd really like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you should try that sometime because it's really up your alley. Yeah, I
But
don't know. I
overall,
really like
lads,
them.
what we've got taken from this is that the second one is the best, right?
No.
No, not
I
quite.
think
Not
what we're
quite.
walking away with is the old Mexican standoff where
Yeah,
nobody's going to concede and each game stands on its own merits.
yeah.
Let's just say they're all a bit shite and go from there.
I would agree with that.
But on the subject of beat 'em ups, Dan, did you ever play The Bouncer?
No, no play that either.
That's a SquareSoft 3D Fighting Force type game.
I love Fighting Force.
Yeah, so you should play The Bouncer.
The Bouncer
You would
was
like that.
awesome. I remember when I
Yeah.
left GameStop, we were still selling brand new sealed copies of that for $50 partway
What?
through the PS3 era. And we just had stacks of them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so random.
I have such a good, well, it's not a good memory, I guess, but playing Fighting Force, my friend used to have it. I think he rented it, and I went round his to play it, but little did I know that this was a ploy by my mother to send me over to contract chicken pox, because he had chicken pox.
Go get it. You know what
So I
other
ended up getting chicken pox for playing Fighting Force.
other
Oh my
beat 'em up
God.
game I think you would really like? It's sort of a divisive game. A lot of critics will say, nope, this game is shit. But a lot of people who've played it said it's fantastic. Is a PS2 game called God Hand.
I've heard of God Hand.
I have not.
It's a Shinji Mikami game.
Is it on PS2?
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool. Yeah, that looks fun.
I mean, look at the box art for that. It's a fist going through a guy's neck.
I mean, you can hold a 2x4.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
So Mikami's,
hit
here's a
people
little
with it.
blurb from it. Mikami's desire was to create the game for hardcore gamers intermixed with a large amount of comic relief. Initially received mixed responses and sold modestly upon its release.
That
It's considered a cult
wow,
classic.
that is a very, very late PS2 game.
Yes, it is.
Holy shit, it came out in Europe in February 2007.
After the PS3.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Huh.
That's
I
all right, that.
wonder if I can find this game. God Hand.
Yeah, it's not too expensive from what I recall. But what are some other beat 'em up games that you guys liked?
Fighting Force on the PS1.
I have Fighting Force
cool.
on Dreamcast, and that game's so much fun.
It really is. The second one wasn't good, unfortunately.
Second one's completely different.
They fucked it up. Yeah.
Oh shit, I misspoke. God Hand is not cheap. Woo.
No.
It is
$85.
$80. You should pick that one up, Dan. Good investment. It's only going to appreciate in value.
Yeah, I'll leave it on my sealed shelf.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the classics.
What's it called? Thingy. Is it Thingy Crisis? Beat 'em up one? What's it called?
Thingy Crisis. It's all about managing your STDs.
No, man, it's Final Fight. Final Fight. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah.
That's not even
Fight.
close to Thingy Crisis.
Double. Do you remember Double Dragon? Did you guys ever play the Double Dragon games?
Yes.
Those are really
guys,
good.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
The
where I was going to
Simpsons
go.
arcade
Do
game.
you know what? Do you know what though I loved about Double Dragon? Have you guys played it to the end
No.
with a friend or anything? So when you play Double Dragon with a friend, when you get to you're cooperating, and when you get to the very end and defeat the final boss, suddenly you then had to fight each other, and whoever wins the game. So like
You
in
could do
arcades,
that in Streets of Rage as well, when he pitted you against each other.
What, in the second
boss.
one?
On the first game, when you get to Mr. X, he goes, "Would you like to join me?" And if you select different things, you end up fighting each other.
Yes.
I tell you what, one of the first games that I purchased on the PSN store and played a ton of was a beat 'em up game called Castle Crashers. Did you guys ever play that 4-player beat 'em up?
Yeah, it's like PS3, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks a little bit like Alien Hominid. It was done in that flash animation style. Game is so much fun.
Oh man, yeah, I never played it though. Unfortunately,
What was that other one? River City Ransom. That was another fun one.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that Final Fight was the intended sequel to Street Fighter?
No.
Apparently.
Hey, Dan, this is a little screenshot of the Punisher. See, I think you'd like that one.
Yeah, that looks quite
I
cool.
think Dan would
I
like
the,
Mother
I like
Russia.
the art style.
I think Dan would like Mother Russia Bleeds.
Yes.
Yeah, you've kind of tempted me with that as well.
I'm really looking.
I like on this Genesis, I like the Batman games. So Batman Returns is really good.
Yes,
and,
they were good.
Batman, The Adventures of Batman and Robin as well is really good.
Well, I
Batman
never played that
Forever, not so much.
No,
there's a surprise.
no, not good.
Bloody hilarious, but not so good.
I actually remember being quite fond of Batman on the Game Boy, the very first one. Back in the day. I'm sure it's terrible now.
I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan on Game Boy. I played a ton of that.
You know what? A game I've always been trying to get you to play, Eric, which I think other people have also attempted, and that is Dead Ball Zone. It is basically a beat 'em up, but a sporting game as well.
I'm listening.
You basically did you ever play Speedball
DBZ.
on Genesis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You showed this to me before.
You have to you can chainsaw the players to get the ball and stuff. It's a little bit like
How do I find this?
You've got him. You've got him.
it's a really good game. I played so much of it with a friend growing up.
I can't find it on. Oh yeah, Dead Ball Zone. It's not that expensive. $10.
Yeah, that's one for your list, I think.
Going to the store today. I mean, I like the box art. It's a goalie who's had a ball
Yes.
thrown through him.
Yeah.
Is the Dead Ball Zone not the clinic where you went to go and get snippets done?
No, see, that's the thing. My balls are alive and well. It's the cord between them and the rest of my body that's dead.
Oh no.
Oh, damn, my joke doesn't work.
No.
We're still amusing.
Yes.
Dead Shaft Zone?
That is definitely not dead.
Dead Shaft. So, guys, should we go to some questions about Golden Axe?
Do we
About the
have any?
series? I'm sure we do.
Do we have any?
Yeah.
Do you have them up? Because I don't.
Actually, I think we have more comments and concerns instead of questions.
Concerns. Let's start with the concerns.
Well, I don't know. What was it? The concern is 2 pictures of Tom with breasts this week. He'll be getting concerned. That was from Phil Gartside. More photoshopping from Dan has been quite eye-opening for me.
Sorry, Tom.
It's quite scary. Yeah, I don't think we have too many other questions necessarily, but it's been good to read all the comments about people who just remember Golden Axe from back in the day.
Where can
This is a
people
really
find those
interesting
comments,
fact.
Tom?
I don't know. Facebook.com/groups/Factory Seal Podcast.
There you go.
You can join our community there and get involved in all the lovely discussions. Yeah,
Yes,
we're pretty active.
We're also on Instagram at Factory Sealed Podcast.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I actually took part in the most recent Factory Seal Podcast Instagram poll about stretching screens.
Oh, Dan.
Should you keep them in 4:3 or put a 16-bit game into 16:9? I think the clue's in the 16-bit, 16:9.
No,
Yeah,
Tom.
he's right.
No.
Makes sense
He's
to
right.
me anyway. Makes sense to me. I don't know.
God,
don't
do
shoot the
this.
messenger.
Don't do this. You know you're wrong.
I just heard. I heard from someone else.
Look. Don't encourage him.
I'm not.
You are.
It's not
I
encouragement.
will never be discouraged. It's happening.
Yeah.
I can't be dealing with the black bars around the side of the screen. That's not right.
Yeah,
You've
you
got
are.
to fill that entire TV. Otherwise,
What I
it's not
don't
right.
get is why you would buy a huge TV only to then fill half of it.
I know it's bullshit,
Okay,
right?
Kind of
listen.
annoying.
Now I
It's
know.
kind of annoying.
Now I know you're just being a turd.
I mean, I booted up the Genesis collection on my Xbox 360, and every game was in this tiny sodden window with loads of space around it. I was like, you know what? Straight in the video settings, hit that left bumper, stretch it lovingly across the screen. I mean, it looks great. You can smooth it as well, so it just looks a bit better. But
Oh, I didn't know you could
it's
smooth
great.
it. That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's like you just take Vaseline and rub it on the screen, and everything just kind of becomes muddy, and it hides all those jagged pixel edges.
And then you
Oh,
go
so
into
you
your
effectively-
TV settings and you set it to full zoom, so you're even more zoomed in, and then
And you lose part of the HUD. It's great. You get really nice and close and a tight shot on the characters. It's great.
Yep. You get right into that action, Eric. That's what you're missing.
You are the worst retro gamer I've ever met.
At least I play them.
Hey, I played all of them this week.
Well, that's the first
Me
week.
too.
Hey, I beat
Surprised
last
you opened
week's.
them.
Come on now. Give me some credit here.
No.
No.
Never.
So, all right. Well, we got a couple busy weeks coming up here, followed by another really busy week after that. Tom and Mike.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Tom and Mike are coming to Phoenix. We're going to go do some stuff in Las Vegas. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Dan is already on Flobs and is refusing to change it to come with. Crystal will
Sorry.
understand.
Yeah, she's imaginary.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Crystal, go by yourself. I'm going to go hang out with the guys.
Yep. I hope I don't get too drunk and then think that Snipmas is a good idea. You know, that would be a terrible thing to do.
See, I don't think that's something people do in
Oh,
Vegas.
yeah.
They go to Vegas, they're like, woo, let's get drunk and get married. Then I don't think people go, woo, I've had 15 shots. Let's go get my balls snipped.
You know, but some people do crazy things.
It'd be pretty. I'm not gonna lie. It'd be pretty funny if you guys came back married.
Me and Tom?
Oh my god.
God, that'd be
You
freaking
imagine.
hilarious. Oh, we should make a fake document that says that we accidentally did.
I'm really, Catherine, I got something to tell you. Just we
Sorry,
done-
darling. The wedding's off.
We done did the deed.
Can we get our deposits back?
That's okay. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We have not settled on what our next game is because our schedule got a little goofy and we need to rearrange some things.
You got a little Donald Duck, didn't it?
Yeah.
There was some solid groundations on that schedule, and it just all got changed.
Oh man, it got fucked immediately.
And then since, I'd say, just after Christmas, we've been saying, we need to get together and sort out this list. Has it happened? Has it shite?
Yeah, but life has thrown a few curveballs our way, and we've had to just kind of recalibrate.
Yeah, we have.
You know what we really need to settle on so we can start planning is our summer RPG.
Lost Odyssey, I decided last year.
See, I don't think we should go that route. I'm really leaning towards Skies of Arcadia or Grandia.
Why don't we just go to Final Fantasy X? People love the Final Fantasy episodes.
I would go with either Star Ocean, the second story, or Grandia.
Grandia would be so good. I really think we need to stray away from Final Fantasies for our summer RPGs.
Yeah,
But I want to play Final Fantasy X again.
But we're going to be talking about so much 7.
We do a lot of Final Fantasy and Zelda, according to various listeners.
Yeah, we're going to be doing Wind Waker coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, guys, we are 2 episodes away from 200.
Oh, Jesus.
This is, I
what
believe.
the hell are we going to do for that?
I think at this stage, it looks like we're probably going to end up doing another side-scrolling beat-em-up.
You know what? Let's just pull out all the stops here and finally get around to Goof Troop.
No.
Could you imagine how anticlimactic that would be?
I think that's what Dan wants to play there.
So he's got it, Lost Odyssey. He's got it in his hands.
I don't know. I'm with Tom on either. I could do Star Ocean Second Story. That game is something else. Or we could
love
do.
to play that.
So is Lost Odyssey. I did not boil that 4th disc for nothing, my friend.
This episode is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon sponsors, with an extra special thank you to Zach Foley, Santos Lopez, Sarah Irvine, Peabody, Wes Rainey, Phil Gartside, Nicholas Bradley, James Hall, Thomas McGrew, Richard Cuttress, Jordan Lawfrey, Jason McGill, Stephanie, Chad Schaefer, Miles Prower, Jeremy Lucas, Shannon McIntosh, and Samuel Chan.